നമസ്കാരം. നമസ്കാരം. പോരാ, മിച്ച പോരാ. എല്ലാവരും ഒന്ന് കൈവിട്ടോ. ഭയങ്കര ഇറുക്കീസന്മാരാണ് അല്ലേ കണ്ണൂരുകാരൊക്കെ. കൈകൊട്ടാൻ പോലും മടിയാണെന്നാണ്. ആരോഗ്യമില്ലാണ്ടുണ്ടോ? നല്ല ആരോഗ്യമില്ലേ അല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ ഇങ്ങനെയാ കൈകൊട്ടെ. നല്ല ശക്തിയിലൊന്നും. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇപ്പോഴും ആരോഗ്യം കുറവാണ് ലാസ്റ്റ് ഇരിക്കുന്നതാണ്. ഞാൻ കുറേ സ്കൂൾസിൽ പോകുന്ന ഒരാളാണ്. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പറയാൻ പാടില്ല എന്നൊക്കെ നിയമമുണ്ടോ? ഇല്ലല്ലോ. ഞാൻ ഏതെങ്കിലും സ്കൂളിൽ പോയിട്ട് പറയരുത് കസ്തൂർബ പബ്ലിക് സ്കൂളിലെ കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ആരോഗ്യം കുറവാണ് അല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ നല്ല ശക്തിയിൽ കൊട്ടണം. ഇപ്പൊ കൊട്ടിയതിന് ഐ വിൽ ഗിവ് യു ഓൺലി 5 marks out of 100. You should make it 100 out of 100. Let me see how good you are. Clap once. Not enough again. I'll give you 20 marks. Okay. Let me see. When I lift my hand, you should clap. When I put it down, you should stop. Okay. Try. പറഞ്ഞാൽ മനസ്സിലാവില്ല, പറഞ്ഞാൽ കേൾക്കില്ല എന്നിപ്പോ ശരിക്കും മനസ്സിലായി. ഓക്കെ. When I show one finger, you just clap with one finger. Okay. Very fast. Fast ആയിട്ട് കൊട്ടണം. Fast, fast, very fast. 2, 3, 4, 5. അപ്പൊ ഇപ്പൊ കൊട്ടാന്നറിയാം. ഇപ്പൊ കുറച്ചുകൂടി അല്ല വെച്ചാ ഗ്രാജുവൽ ആയാലും പാസ്സാക്കണം. ഞാൻ ഒന്നുകൂടി കൊട്ടാം. 5, 4, 3. ഇതാണ് ചാറ്റിൽ മാറാം. 2, 1. Okay, for anyway, make it better. But still I am not happy. I will give you only 40 marks. ഈ കൈ ഫുൾ റെഡ് കളർ വരണം അടിച്ചിട്ട്. ഓക്കെ, നോക്കാം. ട്രൈ വൺസ്. ലാസ്റ്റ്. എന്താ കൊട്ടായിരുന്നു? ഇല്ല, ഞാൻ നോക്കിയപ്പോ കൊട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. കൊട്ടിയോ? ഓക്കെ. ഞാനിപ്പോ ഫസ്റ്റ് കൈകൊട്ടാൻ പറഞ്ഞ സമയത്ത് when I asked you first time, you did it mild, not fully interested, not to your efficiency. But I have to repeat it once, twice, thrice and requested you to do it. Again, watched a few of you, commented on few of you. Then you made it better, right? Yes or no? ഇങ്ങനെ yes പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ എനിക്ക്. I want response. Not enough. Not enough. എല്ലാ ചോദ്യത്തിനും ഇങ്ങനെ ഉത്തരം പറയണം. അത് പറയില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ വിട്ടുപോകും ക്ലാസ്. Okay? So, you have the ability, but somebody has to keep on telling you, do it, do it, do it. Then only you will do it, right now? Yes. Is it a good habit? No. So, do you agree that you are not doing what you can do? Yes? Yes. Whatever you can do, you must try to do it. And try to do it with full devotion, full sincerity. Then only you can call yourself that you are active. You can't preserve your energy. If you work or don't work also, after 3-4 hours you will have to have your lunch, right? And if you do something with full interest, you can even delay your lunch. If you have no interest, no work, you will feel hungry faster. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Okay. So you can't preserve energy, therefore what you should do is keep on using it maximum. Physically, emotionally, intellectually, socially and spiritually. There are 5 levels of growth. Keep on growing it in this as you can. Physically you will grow maximum during this period, right? After some time you will not grow. After 18, 19, 18, after that your height will not increase. This is the time when you grow physically maximum. This is the time when you have emotionally maximum stress in your life. I am a psychotherapist. Many students used to come to me with these problems. So the maximum problem emotionally you will have to suffer during this age. And also intellectually you have to suffer a lot, because this is the time when you have to learn maximum. 10th class, 11th class, 12th class. This is the maximum learning process. As you grow higher and higher, you can have a relaxed life. Okay? And you will have to decide what you want to do, what you want to study. All these decisions comes in during this time. And therefore intellectually you are maximum stressed. Socially you are stressed because you have restrictions at home during this period. They'll tell you don't go there, don't do this. Correct, no? Until now you are allowed to go out, play with people, mingle with everybody. But as you grow, reached from 13 to teenage is 13 to 19, right? So the teenage is the time when parents will start restricting you. Don't do this. And therefore you will start hating parents. If you ask most of the students at this age, who is your enemy, they will say father and mother. And then teachers. Right? Therefore socially you have lot of restrictions. When we attend marriages, we will see no students of your age, no kids of your age attend marriages nowadays. Because they will tell you, study, don't come for marriage. Study, don't go to temple. Only just before the exam day you can go to temple. Correct, no? So socially you have restrictions, and spiritually you have restrictions because you have always confusions on whether to believe in God, whether not to believe in God. Is there God? Because you get educated more and more and you get confused which is correct, which is not correct. You get more knowledge, and traditional knowledge you can't accept without logic, because you are growing intellectually, you start questioning many things. Therefore this is a stage where you need to be directed carefully, very very carefully. And you start loving people, liking people who are role models, good people. And you will start searching for such people. And sometimes you will meet somebody, sometimes you will not meet somebody. These are all problems at this age. I have been talking to students of your kind, maybe more than 6 lakhs of students. Okay? Starting from Meerut to Trivandrum. Every week I meet. If I don't have special programs like this, normally for last 10 years, every week I am meeting nearly 300 students. Every week. So 300 into how many weeks in a year? Louder. 52. Okay, good. So let me not repeat it asking louder. Not enough. That word should not be used here. Okay, fine. Let me see how good you are. So 300 into 52 into last 10 years. Apart from the programs like this. And people keep meeting me. How many of you use internet? People have a habit of looking at whether somebody else is using or not. Then only they will raise their hand. You must be bold enough, saying that yes, I use it. Let somebody else don't use it or not. Good boy. Raise your hand full up. Only one person. And we call ourselves as the most illiterate state. Most illiterate state. Right? You don't use internet? No? Okay. You are so poor, not even 10 rupees with you. You can't go to internet cafe and use it. You don't have in the school also, you don't have internet? Okay, wonderful. Very good. One good boy. Lift your hands up. What for you use it? What education? Which site you will see? Okay, CBSE sites. Good, wonderful. Now, how many of you feel you are great people in this world? How many of you feel you are great? You are physically good. Look at the mirror and say that I am beautiful. I am cute. The nose, yeah, this is enough. Ears, okay, this is enough. Shape is enough. How many of you feel? Only one? Come here. Little girl, come here. Good girl, come here. Wonderful girl. Give her a clap. I am not happy with the way you came. You must keep running. Okay? Do anything. Anything. Fast, perfect, quick, and happy. Happy? Come here. Come to the stage. Don't laugh. Why? What's your name?
My name is Sumaya.
Sumaya. Why do you feel you are great?
Because I'm thankful to God because He gave me 2 eyes, 1 nose,
Yeah.
all the organs. Then He gave me a brain for studying.
Okay. Is working? Brain is working?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Brain is like elastic rubber band. The more you stretch it, you have more elasticity. If you don't stretch it and keep it somewhere, after some time when you try, what will happen? It breaks. Okay? So keep on using it. How good you are in using your brain. God has given you, but are you using it?
Yeah.
Good. If you rate yourself, how good a student you are? 100% good student?
No,
How much percentage will give you?
90%.
90%. It's a question not for her, for all of you. As a student, when you evaluate how much percentage mark you get, not the marks which you get in the exam, I'm not worried about that. As a student, sincerely I'm doing whatever I'm supposed to do. Ask yourself how good a student you are. And you call yourself, if somebody asks you what are you, what you will say? Student, right? And ask yourself next question, how good a student you are. 20%, 30%, she is 90%. Wonderful. So you must know how much mark you will get as a student. Okay? Now you know how much mark you get, right? 60%? How many of you get 60% and above? Come here. Yeah, I'm untouchable or what? Okay. How many of you get more than 60%?
Hands up straight.
Full, no half business. 60% and above. Fine, wonderful. Below. How many get 80% and above? 80% and above. Very less. Okay. How many will get below 20%? How many get below 50%? Lift your hands up. Good. Wonderful. Now, when you evaluate yourself, if you want to improve your height, weight, what you will do? You keep on measuring, right? So if you want to improve yourself as a student, what you should do?
Smoke.
You should measure and say how good you are and keep on measuring it. So today is which day? Which date?
17.
2010 January 16. Keep a table on, make a table. Okay, today 16. Yeah. Make a table right there. 2010 January 16th. In this column you write student. How much mark you got? You write how much you are getting. Okay. Next, after 10 days, you must be able to improve it slightly. So you know what you should do to get it better, right? No? And you will start doing it. Yes or no? Yes. Not enough? Yes. Now next question, how good a daughter you are? 100%. You're a daughter, no?
Yeah.
How good a daughter you are?
I'm a good daughter of my parents.
How much percentage? Now we have only measurements. I am a mathematician. My PhD is in mathematics. I'm a doctor of mathematics. Okay?
100%.
100%. 100% good daughter. Sure?
Sure.
Do you cook?
No.
Your mother cook?
Yeah.
And you eat?
Yeah.
If you cook, mother will be happy or unhappy?
Happy.
So you are not making your mother happy?
But there is no time for me to cook.
Who says there is no time for you to cook? Are you as busy as Manmohan Singh?
No. I don't know how to cook.
You should learn how to cook. Okay? Being a good daughter, good son, good sister is the next step in your life. How much mark you will get as a daughter? Think. 50% and above, how many? Good, very less. See, boys are very bad generally. Yes, sir. How many get more than 80%? More than 80%. They are seeing whether somebody else is getting, then I will also get. So you like to copy here also? No? Good. Think what is to be done to improve your marks as a daughter. Okay? So write down as a daughter today how much mark you get. And after 10 days you must improve it. You will know what to do, right? If you want to improve your marks, go and sleep on your mother's lap. Say, I am your small kid, right? For a mother and a father, you are 2 years old, 3 years old, small kid, and they love you, each one of you, right? Never forget that they carried you, okay? They made you to sleep, they kept you waking when you were sleeping, they looked at your face for each smile. Don't you see? The father, mother making the kids to smile. And there was a day like they were looking at your face and seeing that you are smiling. But today it's not, right? Okay? But give a chance for them, they will enjoy. I have son at your same age. My son is in 11th class. And another son is in BSc Economics. Just passed out 12th and joined for graduation. So you must love them and they will love you. Now, you can do this. As a sister, how much you will get? As a friend, how much you will get? As a sister, you have a sister?
I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers. So you are a sister.
Yeah.
So as a sister, how good you are?
50%.
50%. So you keep fighting.
Yeah.
Right? It's good. Nice to fight with them. Okay, every day you must fight. And make some nice scar on their body every time. See, this is a scar which my brother gave me. So even still I remember. You see, big cut, no? Yeah. The more you play with them, you love them more. You must play. It's not that it's not important. It's important to play with them. Okay? But you should do another thing. Give them also one paper and a table like this. Okay? Ask your father how much mark you will give me as a daughter. Okay? Then only it will become complete. And ask your father how much mark you will give to your wife. That means your mother, if it is. Okay? Ask your mother to give same way marks for you and to your father. Make papers like this. You understood? And then if they give you 20%, 30%, 50%, that's not enough. You must make it 100%. Ask them, what should I do to get 100% mark? You will realize they will give you maximum mark only when you are a good? What is a good child? Fulfilling their
Wishes.
wishes. What is their wish?
Studying and
studying and getting good marks, right? So most of the time it ends up in being a good student. So if you have 80% as a good student, automatically your rating as a good daughter will become higher, right? So the best way is to, because your role today is not a daughter, not a sister, not a friend. Your main role is what? Student. So this is to make you to think that I should improve, right? And you should feel great, as she says, but you have 2 eyes, beautiful. Okay? And more than that, go and sit. I have a small poetry book. I have given one copy for the library. If you want, you can buy individually. Its Malayalam version of the poetry has come into Kalagaumudi magazine. I am a poet. Okay, good poet. And one of the poetry, the first poetry in the book is called The Race for Birth. What's it called? A Race for Birth. I'm sure I may be the best poet in Kannur. My poetries are very good. Not because I say that, many people say that, okay? The Race for Birth is a wonderful poem. And you will appreciate it, you will love that poem, and you will never forget that poem in your life. A poetry is good only when you will remember it throughout your life. And I am sure you will never forget this poetry. You may forget me, but not my poetry. You know why? It gives you the feeling that I am great. Keep saying I am great. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. Shout here. Not enough here. You are all youth, powerful youth. Lift your hands up and say I am great. Not enough. No, this is not greatness. You must feel that you are great and then push to the sky. Say I am great. Wonderful. You know why you are great? When you take birth, millions of sperms from your father. How many sperms? Millions of sperms from your father gets into the mother's egg. And only one sperm take birth. And that is each one of us, right? Say it's me. Say it is me. So who took birth? You took birth. How many sperms did not take birth? Millions of sperms. And who are they? Instead of you, instead of me, any one of those unborn brothers and sisters could have taken birth, right? If any other sperm take birth, it will not be me, it will not be each one of us. It would have been my unborn brothers and sisters. Ende janikada poya sahodari sahodaranmar. Not aara birth eduthathu nammal. Are we not great? The birth itself is a fight where we are the winner and we fought with millions and millions of our own closest relative, that's our brothers and sisters. And before taking birth, we start fighting. With whom? Our own unborn brothers and sisters. And we killed all of them to take birth. Yes or no? Not enough. I will stop. Not enough, I will stop. So lift your hands up. Take it back. And say well done. Nobody needs to congratulate you, you must keep congratulating. And all our Panchendriyas are working perfect. Yes or no? Yes. Yesterday, how many of you have seen the eclipse? How far is that? The sun is too far, the moon is somewhere in the middle. It's a great phenomena, right? No? And the greatest phenomena is that we are able to see that. Because we have 2 eyes, right? So who is great? We are great. Let it have a different shape. The nose is not good, doesn't matter. Is it working perfect? And a lot of air here and nose takes only oxygen inside, right? Which is the best filter in the world? Nose. Have you ever thought about this? Nose is the best filter. You imagine if the nose just gets reversed, what will happen? Carbon dioxide will go in and then oxygen will come out, right? So this body is so wonderful. We are not as tall as Amitabh Bachchan. Doesn't matter. We don't have the muscles of Salman Khan, or I can't dance like Shah Rukh Khan. Doesn't matter. I am this product. With this product, what best I can do? Think each one of us. Are we doing the best what we can do? Are we doing the best what we can do? Yes or no? No. So there is a scope for improvement, right? Therefore there is a relevance for my talk. Otherwise there is no relevance for my talk. Will you do it better tomorrow? Yes. Today? Yes. Now? Yes. From now onwards you will have a change. Okay? If somebody decides to change, that is the best one. When I talk to students, I keep thinking that I should change. Because every day I must improve. I rate myself how good a speaker I am. How good a master I am. I have never been a teacher. Not in the schools, not in colleges. But I have been teaching from my graduation time. And I have taught many students in this world. I have never been a teacher anywhere, but I was a director for training college for teachers. Nearly more than 2 lakhs of teachers are my students. Go to any college in Kerala, there will be one student of mine teaching there. That's not greatness. Kannur University, one of the senior most professor who attended my class went home and then told about my class to their parents, and the father calls me and says, "Sir, I want to meet you." And I asked, "Which school you are studying? Your daughter is studying." No, my daughter is not studying, she is a professor. You understood? So the professor who attends my class goes and tells their parents, and they love to see me. Recently when I came to Talisheri for a talk, soon after the talk, somebody came to me and said, "Sir, you taught me in so and so place in so and so class. Please come to my house." I went there. As soon as I went there, there was a small student, an 11th class student, who was studying on the study table. Then I asked that student, how are you? And he gave me an answer. I asked him, "Do you know me?" And he said, "Yeah." "How do you know me?" "My mother showed your photograph on internet. On computer it is there. My father knows you." Why? Because they see that there is a difference, right? It makes a difference to people. It makes a difference in your life. So I'm sure this class becomes useful only when you carry the message in you. Today afternoon when you go back home, what you will do? I'm sure you will tell your parents there was a class today, right? Yes. And it was a different class. Do you tell what happens in the class every day to your parents? Yes. And only students can do that, nobody else. So when you learn, you are also educating your parents. That's why I love students. I love students because you can teach your parents. I learned so many things from my son. From small things to the highest thing. Keep discussing a lot of things. Whenever you want to learn something, the best way is to teach somebody. If you don't teach anybody, the learning becomes useless. Okay. The other day I was in Kannur, in a small lower primary school, 1st to 4th class. 1st to 4th class. I did not talk to the students. I was talking to the parents of the students. Okay. It's a government Mapla school. 382 students are there. All of them are Muslims. All the students are Muslims. And the students' dropout rate is on 1st class, 2nd class, they stop studying. In the register there is 382 students, but most of them do not attend the classes. Only when the AEO inspection is there, they bring them to save the teachers. That's what happens. And the MLA wanted me to talk to the parents. And they called, the parents meeting was called. MLA was also there to inaugurate. Nearly 146 ladies came with parda, total black dress. Okay, I thought I am in Afghanistan or somewhere. And then only 5 gents, they are the parents. Because most of the parents, the fathers are working in the sea. It's a seashore, right? Kannur is a seashore place. Then I asked their parents, how many of you had gone to schools? All of them lifted their hands. I am so happy that all the parents attending. Then I asked which class? Not for classes, for voting we have gone to schools. None of them are educated. Do you think the uneducated parents will feel like sending their kid? No. So who will educate them? So I said, send this message to the students that each day the students should go and teach their parents. Most of you are luckier because your parents are educated. You don't understand what would have been the situation of each one of us if our parents are not educated, right? My father and mother were not educated. They were in 4th class dropouts. I lost my father when I was 4 years old. I never got a class in my life like what you are getting today. I was in one of the best school in the Kannur district on 8th class. And 8th class I was pushed out of the school saying that you will not get first class and the school name will be lost. I am telling this just to tell you that if you are not a good student, you have more chance of becoming a good student tomorrow. Okay, there were 24 students in my class when I was in 8th class and my rank used to be 24th rank. No competition for that rank. The last rank in the class, continuously. And imagine I used to be dragged into the assembly to show how a bad student will look like. I've been humiliated in most of the classes. But I'm sure I have reached much higher than any one of my classmates could get. None of them could become a director of a university. They are only readers and lecturers. None of them could become the principal director and cabinet secretariat. I was an IG in police for 2 years. Okay, none of them could become. I have shown that I can become what I can. And I am standing in front of you not to take some lessons from textbook and tell you what it says. I am standing here as an example to show you that if you want to change in your life, you can change. And you can do. Today give me any subject and give me a week, I will get 100% mark. Challenge any subject, any point of view, I can learn. I learned from mathematics too. As introduction, when somebody is being introduced, it's nice to give the introduction about the qualification of the people, not to show me higher. It is to inspire each one of you. Okay, I am talking about me, not to tell that what I am. It to inspire you, to take lessons from me. Okay, so I've done my MSc. I was a very bad student, but my BSc I am 5th rank in the university. And in MSc I am 2nd rank in the university. MPhil I am 1st rank in the university. I finished my PhD in 3 years in mathematics. And I joined my office, I took my LLB, I took my MBA, I did an MA, I did an MS in psychotherapy and counseling. And I know almost every healing, and I'm a good astrologer. I'm a good Vastu expert. I'm a hypnotist. I've learned most of the therapies what you can think of in this world. And I'm a good poet. I keep writing in most of them. And if I send a poetry, definitely it will come published tomorrow. If I just send a poetry, that's enough. Because people will accept it as it goes. I learned film editing. Okay, you will see my first work comes out maybe in another 2 weeks or 3 weeks. On Oduvil Unnikrishnan, I am making a documentary. Okay. My interests are varied. And people say that you have no time. I am a good cook. Okay, I cook. I started cooking in my house when I was in 9th class. During my BSc graduation, I skipped my exam for cooking at home because my sister delivered a baby and mother was sick and there was nobody at home to cook. So I did not attend my exam. I am standing before you as an example to tell you that I studied in a normal Malayalam medium school. Okay, as soon as my graduation, I started teaching English because I am poor in English. So the best way to learn is to teach. Those days, as a young boy, after graduation, when I go to classes, I used to ask the students, tell me a verb. I will tell all the 12 tenses. How many of you can tell, given a verb, 12 tenses very fast? I want one good student, brilliant student, 100% good student. Not fast, slowly you can tell. You know what are the tenses, right? What are the tenses? First you start with the past and then future. Present, past, future, only three. Simple present, present continuous, present perfect, continuous. So I want you to take a verb and tell all the four in the present, then past, in future. How many of you can? You are English medium students, right? I taught English. I taught Malayalam in the colleges. St. Teresa's College in Ernakulam, when they conduct an English conference, I will be the chief speaker there. I speak on those subjects. In Kannur University, when they conduct anthropology department, conduct conferences, I will be a speaker there. So there is no subject which I left untouched. I love mathematics. My PhD is in physics, not in mathematics. Close to mathematics, turned into physics. When I joined my office, the first book what we have to learn is geography. So I know geography much better than any geography teacher here. 100% guarantee. From latitude, longitude, map number to each of the places is by heart to me. A kilometer from south to north to east to west, not in India alone. Because my job was mapping. 20 years I mapped the world. I produced more than 20,000, 30,000 maps. I conduct map competition for students, geography quiz competition for students. I take students on, I have conducted quiz competition with more than 10,000 students at a stretch. Practical mapping. Make a map of this place and then go around and then come back. It's like a hunting, map hunting. Now you take a map and then keep moving around. It's a wonderful program. And now it's a national competition. If smart students are there, we can conduct it in Kannur. You'll enjoy doing it. Think differently and start doing it. Let it be any subject. That's what I'm trying to say. Why I am saying this is because you have brilliant brain. Brilliant brain. And your brain is much more brilliant than what you can think of. Your brain is much more brilliant than each one of you. Your brain is brilliant than you, because you don't know how brilliant your brain is. Okay? Take a verb and tell me. Since I asked a question, you must answer. We will take examples from English, take examples from chemistry, we will take examples from physics, whichever subject you want. You tell me the subject, I will give examples. Tell me from English. Since I asked you, you must give an answer. Tell me. Who is ready? Anybody? One smart student. Doesn't matter, make a mistake. Bad. No smart students around. 100%. See, you should by heart. The best way to be perfect in English is to by heart all the 12 tenses. Okay? You take an example. Take an example. Take itself. Take an example. Take itself. Take is a verb, right? I take, I have taken, I have taken, I have been taking, I took, I was taken, I had taken, I had been taking, I shall take, I shall be taking, I shall have taken, I shall have been taking. All the 12 tenses, right? Very simple. So, right? Unless you practice, you can't be perfect. Unless you are practicing, you can't be perfect. Do you think you don't have time? Do you think you don't have time? You know what time I took the train yesterday night? 3 o'clock from Trichy. Can you sleep up to 3 o'clock? No. So I didn't sleep. And as soon as I get in, I found a friend who is traveling from Delhi, who is coming to Peraur. He has got a 10 acres of land there, so he is going there. And he got in from Shornur. And as soon as he got in from Shornur, so up to Shornur I did not sleep. Okay, so from Shornur I started talking to him up to Talisheri, so I did not sleep yesterday night. Do you feel that I am not energetic? No, it's not required. You don't have to sleep. Who says you have to sleep? In a life, when you live 60 years, assume you live 60 years. My prayers, you live 100 years, okay? 120 years. But for computation purpose, let us take example, you live up to 60 years. How many years? 60 years. When you sleep 24 hours, how many hours you sleep? Approximately 8 hours, that's what doctors prescribe. So when you live 60 years, how many years you are living? How many years you are sleeping? 1/3 of your life you sleep. Out of 24 hours, 8 hours you are sleeping, right? So 8 by 24 is 1/3. So in 60 years, how many years you sleep? Louder. 1/3. 60, 1/3 is how much? Louder. 20 years. So 20 years you are sleeping. When you live up to 60 years, how many years you are sleeping? 20 years. 20 years are happy? While sleeping you are happy, no? Yes or no? Yes. Louder. Yes. So 20 years you are happy, only when you open your eyes you are unhappy. How many of you get up as soon as you wake up? There is a difference between getting up and waking up. How many of you get up as soon as you wake up? You love to sleep in the early morning, right? Mother calls you, then you will put your bed sheet again. And if sister calls you, your leg will go up. And if father calls you, you will jump, right? Does it not happen? Do you want to get up as soon as you wake up from tomorrow onwards? How many of you want? Lift your hands up. I will give medicines for each one of you. You want? Sure. So tomorrow onwards, you will get up as soon as you wake up. Yes or no? Yes. But this saying is not enough, because morning you will forget. Not to forget, there is a nice medicine. I'm a doctor, right? So I can treat people. So I'm going to give you medicine. How many of you will pay for that? See, somebody is seeing whether somebody else will pay, then only I will pay, right? Don't have to pay, I'll give you a free medicine, okay? It's at your home. This is the medicine. Okay? Drink 3 liters of water and sleep at night. So what will happen? What time you will get up? You will get up early morning, right? Yes or no? But after going to bathroom, don't come back and sleep, okay? Easy methods of living in this world. Very simple methods. For most of the problems, you have simple method. Practice this 18 days, 19th day, you will be alright. Actually, what we do is, most of the time, we wake up and pretend as we are sleeping. Everybody will be working. You will hear the neighbor is working, paper boy is putting the paper, milk boy is giving the milk. And what is that we are doing? And we believe that is the best time to study. Early morning. And that time is called what Muhurtam? Brahma Muhurtam. Why is it called Brahma Muhurtam? Because Brahma is the god of creativity. Brahma is the god of? Many people call it creation, production. No, Brahma have no job. He don't produce anybody. Okay? Brahma is the god of creativity. And where is that Brahma? Brahma is inside each one of us. Hridaya guhara madhye kevalam Brahma matram. Hridaya guhara madhye kevalam Brahma matram. Inside your Hridayam there is only Brahma. What is Brahma? Creativity. But what is that you have done? You have not opened him up. You have not opened your Hridayam. How do you open it? Enlighten it. Give a torchlight to your Hridayam. What is the torchlight? Sun. Okay? And who has to give the torchlight? That is education. That is why Brahma's wife is Saraswati. Saraswati is the goddess of education. The Hridayam is ready to do job, creativity. But what it requires? It requires the light of education. Education only can brighten it, enlighten you. That's why Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tat Savidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Diyo Yonaha Prachodayat. Please enlighten me inside. Oh sun, you are enlightening the whole globe. Om Bhur on the globe, Bhuvasvaha, above the earth also. But you are not entering inside my Hridayam. Please enter inside my Hridayam and make me enlightened. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is opening your eyes. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chachurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Who is a guru? Guru is not a teacher who teaches. Guru is a teacher who makes lot of questions in you. Because unless you have questions, you will not start learning. Each one of you, when write an exam, you may get 100% mark. Take the same question paper and try to write once again. You will not get 100%. You know why? Each one of you are studying for writing exam. As soon as exam is over, your brain will wash and say, no, I don't require this. Again you will have to learn it. But assume your studies become not in the brain but in your heart, you will perform 100% well throughout your life. Ask a question anytime, you will be able to answer it. Otherwise you will learn for exam purpose and you will never use it. That's the biggest trouble in our education. I'm not trying to criticize education. I'm just trying to tell you that you must make a change in yourself. Let anything happen outside. But in each one of us, we can make a difference. How do you make a difference? Take an example from maths. You're all brilliant students, right? Yes or no? Yes. What is 22 into 18? Simple. 22 into 18. Let me see who gives the answer. Lift the hand if you got the answer. Fast. You will get wonderful prizes. I will keep noting who got. What is the answer? How did you get it? By multiplying, right? Lift your hands up. All of you lift your hands up. Take it on your head. Ayyo, enda karyam kashtam. You studied in mathematics, a minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square. Have you ever used this anywhere in your life? Except for writing exam? I am sure now onwards you will start using it every day. You know why? What is 18 multiplied by 22? 20 plus 2, 20 minus 2. Yes or no? That becomes 20 square minus 2 square. 20 square is 400, 2 square is 4. Therefore it becomes 396. Want to get it very fast? Hit your head like this. Stupid head. You study something but you never use it because none of your teacher told you that what you study is for using. They just said you that it is for writing exams. It's not your brain. They were taught like this. Traditionally we are doing this mistake. It was not true. It is for experiencing. It is for using. Every learning has to be used. That's why I said I give quiz competition on geography. You will start learning. You must do geography. You must learn history. Some wonderful student in mathematics will not like history. Generally this happens. When you are good in logically, critically, discovery type of learning, there are a lot of teachers. I teach B.Ed teachers most of the time. The other day I was in Adimali Training College, SN Training College in Adimali. I have a book on education, how to teach, learn, the teaching methodology. The first book on teaching methods through internet, computer based teaching in India is from me. I have a book on education. When you write, it needs to be learned. When you learn, that is to be used. If you don't use education, that becomes waste, because if you have education and you don't become creative, it's having Saraswati but not Brahma with you. Yes or no? Will Brahma keep quiet? Brahma will take his wife away and you will not have Saraswati also with you. That is why you will write exam and after exam you will not have that knowledge. You will forget what you learned in your 10th class after a few years. How bad it will be, right? Recently I have written an article. Have you seen the magazine called Silver Plus? Ask your parents if you don't have, because it is 40 plus magazine. The people above 40 have to read that magazine. Okay, they asked me to write a article there, and I have written a wonderful article there. It's a good article. You know why? Recently, one of my student, maybe not one of my student, who studied along with me, but he happened to be my student. He studied along with me, but he happened to be my student. Because generally what I do is, as soon as the class is over, I go to board and then start teaching the students what the teacher taught. That's the best way to learn. So I started teaching my own students, my own classmates, and they all love me so much. Even today, after 25 years, they talk to me. So recently, one of my classmates who called me and said, Shashi Kumar, there is one line here, another line here, some line on the top. And mathematics, we keep on using it. What is it called? You know what is it? Pi. A BSc graduate was a wonderful student actually. But he forgot what is pi. Do you know how much pain he has? See, whatever you know, and if you forget it, it will become painful for you. Only for few days. After some time, you will forget that also. That will not be painful for you. As if my father dies, mother dies, I will be unhappy. I will start crying. I will feel worried. How many days? Few days. After that, that also will become casual. So each one of us will forget. You know why? Because we are not learning for learning purpose. We are learning for writing purpose. Never, never, never do that. Enjoy reading. And you must have full concentration. How many of you have full concentration in reading? Tell me. You have a problem, you lift your hands. I will give solutions for that also. You have a problem in studying? No concentration problem? That's a very common problem. Because your brain is working. That's why you have no concentration. You keep on thinking different things, right? Is it a real problem? Do you have that problem? Yes? Do you go to cinema? Theater? Do you have a concentration problem? I am not able to follow the cinema. I am not understanding what is happening here. Or full concentration. What interest you have now? When the heroine opened the door, you will also see what's going on. So much involved in that. You know, in one film, 1 second, you get 100 pictures. Film is a fast movement of pictures, right? In 1 second, you have 100 pictures in the modern pictures. Earlier it was much less, 40, 50. That is why you see vibrations in the movie. But today, because of digital technology, you have 100 movies in 100 pictures in 1 second. 100 pictures in 1 second. So in 1 minute, 60 into 100, fast. 6,000. In 1 hour, 3,60,000. In 2 hours, 7,20,000. 7,20,000 pictures in front of you in 2 hours. How many pictures? And one of the picture which comes on the poster, when you see that, do you have a doubt in which cinema is it? Or automatically you get the answer? Automatically you can recognize, right? That means 2 hours, 7,20,000 pictures can be in front of you and you can by heart all of them. Do you think this brain is bad? This brain is good. But take your book and then open a page and ask which textbook is this? Oh, is it our textbook? No page is by heart for you, right? When the teacher teaches in the class, do you look at their mouth and see, what is the next word she is going to speak? You know, most of the teachers are beggars. You know, what do they beg? Please listen, please listen. They keep on begging, please listen, please listen. Because they know you don't listen in the class. None of you listen in the class. You will start looking at, if I become a teacher like this. I am not saying too much, okay? So this is a big problem. Why you don't have interest? Because you don't know why you are learning this. You are learning it just for writing exam and getting marks. Read before coming to the class. Read before coming to the class. You know what is going to be taught tomorrow, right? Read before coming to the class. Attending class will become thrilling for you. You need not understand the total concept, but just read once. Definitely your teacher will know slightly more than you. So when she explains, it becomes more clear for you. But you will start listening it perfectly because you heard something and then you are going to hear it once again. Whatever you know, if somebody is going to tell, you will have more interest. Very simple. And when you are sitting in the class, before the teacher comes, what do you discuss with your friend? Something different other than what you have to learn, right? But if you read and come to the class, and your friend also read and comes to the class, you will start discussing about what is going to happen in the class. Automatically this will happen. You don't have to prepare for it. This is what will happen. Because when you go for a movie, you will tell your friend you are going for a movie, right? That is what you are doing, preparing. And you will tell your parents that I am going for this movie. You will tell your friends, you will start sending SMS, you will telephone and somebody and say that I am going for this movie. Do you tell anybody that today I am going to read this in the class? I am going to learn this in the class? You don't bother it, right? Make it interesting. Keep on telling others, then that becomes interesting for all of you. No one single student can be good, but if few students are good, the whole class and school will become good. You can change this school. The students determine the quality of the school, not the furniture around, not the facilities around, not the teachers around. It's just the students. If the students are good, school is good. And you can change. Each one of you can make a change. Not for the school, but for each one of you. So learn and come in the class. Will you do it tomorrow onwards? Do it. Then after the class, don't trouble the teachers by asking questions and all that. Fine. I'm seeing in Kerala only you don't have this habit of interacting, asking questions and all that. Actually, when I was an MSc student, when somebody comes for a general lecture, the notice board, the title says this is the talk which is going to give. I go to library, study the whole thing and then come to the class. And before he start talking, I will put my questions. And the speaker generally, maybe another department, the physics department or chemistry department students, they come. They know that there is a boy like this, a troublesome boy. They used to tell, come here, I'll take you to Indian coffee house, please don't ask questions. But once you study and sit in the class, it becomes so interesting for you. No, I am not asking questions to threaten him, it's to know more and more. Know more and more. When you sit in the class, that becomes interesting for you. Do that. And as soon as the class is over, when sitting in the class, you start judging, comparing, learning, analyzing, interpreting. All that will happen in your brain automatically. And you will also know, oh, teacher knows much better than me. Now today you are not even thinking that. It becomes interesting to you. Then what you do is, soon after the teacher goes, you start discussing with your friend. Oh, I thought this is like this. And she will tell this, I thought this is like this. He will tell this is like this. And then you start fighting on this, right? One chapter is over. Now you have for public exam, how many days more? 45 days, right? In 45 days, how many of you want to get 75% and above? How many of you want 100%? You don't want. I'll give you free. Take it. If you just follow this method, each one of you can increase your percentage just like that, with not much trouble. Simplest technique. I have 30 points to students, 20 points to parents and teachers on internet. On internet, if anybody of your elders or somebody is working, you ask, or the school somebody can take a copy and then distribute to the students. If some parents association or somebody can take initiative, that's wonderful. 30 points to students. How many points? 30 points. 20 points to parents and teachers. They should support you, then only it will work. Okay? You will make your days, 45 days sleepless and you will not feel tired. I am a good meditation master. I teach people on meditation. 10 minutes of meditation is enough instead of 2 hours of sleep. You can just meditate for some time and you can get rid of your sleep. I am from Himalayan tradition. My master is a Himalayan guru. But you don't have to learn all that. Your meditation itself will become learning. There is simple technique. One chapter is over. You decide, your friend, tell your friend that today we are going to learn this chapter. Can you tell? Identify 1 or 2 good students around you. Each one of you have 1 or 2 good friends. Yes or no? Yes. So tell your student, tell your friend, this chapter we are going to finish today. Okay? What you do is prepare a question paper. Can you prepare question paper? Tough question paper you must make. Okay? Ask your friend also to make a question paper. Don't show what you are going to make. Both of you make a good question paper, exchange the question paper. You are making question paper for your friend, and she is or he is making a question paper for the other person. Exchange the question paper. Okay? Don't write it as soon as you reach home back. Study, finish whatever you want to do. Maybe 11 o'clock when you feel sleepy, take the question paper and answer it, because tomorrow you have to submit back. If you want to submit to your friend, you will work late night and you will not get sleep. Okay? If you are really feeling sleep, every 10 minutes wash your face. When your hands are wet, when your legs are wet, you will not feel tired. The best way to get rid of sleep is wash your legs. Continuously you want to wash your legs? Keep your legs inside a bucket of water. You will not get sleep. Okay? The cool legs, cool hands. Hands cannot be wet because you are dry, right? Wash your face. When you are washing face, hands are wet. Either hands or legs have to be wet. Keep your legs in the water. You can't do it in Delhi because Delhi is too cold. It will become ice. But in Kerala, it's hot season. No problem. You can keep it, right? Okay? If it is too cold, keep slightly warm water, hot water. Okay? You will feel comfortable. Not whole time, but sometime you can keep. Nothing will happen to you. I am from an Ayurvedic family, so I know health systems perfectly well. And I am a herbo-mineral expert. I know allopathy. I have also learned allopathy and homeopathy also. Okay? So nothing will happen. As per health, if you put your legs in water, nothing is going to happen to you. In cold season, you are not supposed to keep in the cold water, that's all. Okay? At this age, nothing will happen back to your age. Now you write answer to all the questions. Who gave the question paper? Your friend. Tomorrow give the answer sheet. Take her answer sheet to you. Get a red ink pen. Okay? What are you going to do? Correction. Take it home next day. Correct it. How do you correct? Every spelling mistake, every grammar mistake, every point, and you are going to read whose answer? Your friend's answer sheet, right? Have you ever read your friend's answer sheet? That is the best way to know how can you improve writing exams. And you will start improving writing exam, and next day with all the corrections you give only 30 marks out of 100. Make it very strict evaluation. When teacher does it, you will feel sad. But your friend does it, you will not feel sad, you will feel angry. Yes or no? And next day what will happen? No? In the veranda, you will not see kids chatting unnecessary things. You will start fighting for marks. You will tell, I have written it correct. You see how you have written it? You start comparing. When you are comparing and telling your friend what mistakes they have done, who is learning? Both of you are learning. And because of you, your friend will learn more. And because of your friend, you will learn more. Is it not better? That is the only way to learn. Acharya padamadatte padam shishya swamedhaya padam sa brahmajaribhya padam kalakramena. There is only 4 ways of learning. Acharya padamadatte. From the teachers you can learn, but you can learn only 25%. Only in the classroom learning gives you 25%, not more than that. No wonderful teachers also, and no good teachers are there. You know why? Acharyat padamadate. If you are an acharya, who is an acharya? A mathematics teacher who practices mathematics. A social teacher who practices social studies. A English teacher who practices English. Do you have any teachers like that around? No. Who is the person who practices? They live only on that. They think only on that. Such people, when they teach, if such acharyas, yadyada jarati srashta tatta devi edarojana sayat pramanam gurude logastad anuvartade. Seeing a mathematics teacher, you must feel that, oh, she is great. And you must feel for that teacher just because she knows that much mathematics. Do you have any such teachers? I had a teacher like that. Very recently he expired. Oh, Kunyakrishnan master from my school. No, after retirement also he goes to the Naduvil is my place. From Taliparamba you have to travel 20 kilometers where electricity came in 1984. Such a remote village. That school belonged to us. In that school we have a teacher called O. Kunjikrishna Master, and he teaches mathematics teachers. And he lives in mathematics. If I go and meet him after 20 years, I know the time is up, but they don't feel that they want a... No, they don't want. Do you want a break now? No, I am looking at their face. I am used to this. So we will not have a break. Teachers can go and have it. Those who feel that they are not interested, they want to have a break, they can take it.
Tea is kept for you.
Doesn't matter, I don't take tea. I am interested more in teaching. Okay, don't break that interest. Okay. Now what? Do you want? How many of you? If any one of you want, we will break. Tell me. I don't want. I don't even take water during my class. Because I am totally into this. You know why? It's not my brain which is working, it's my heart which is working. It has been tested, connecting electroencephalograph. It's called ECG. You know what is ECG? Where the heart works, right? Brain working can be tested by EEG, electroencephalograph. Call a doctor, connect electroencephalograph and see whether my brain is working. And they will tell this brain is not working, it's dead. Because my brain is not working. What is working is my heart. Because with feelings only I am talking. Don't you see that? And where I am taking that, I am not taking my knowledge into your brain. I am taking it into your heart. And that is why you can never forget me in your life. You will remember me forever. Because I am reaching into your heart. Okay? I have lessons and classes like this for contractors. I don't only teach these students. I teach contractors on Vastu. Okay? And they sit in my class for 6 hours without a break. Can you imagine? When power goes, no mic set, 400 people I can reach. I had recently in Andhra, Anandapur, where Satya Sai Baba comes from that district, Puttaparthi. 3,800 students in front of me. And half of them don't understand English. They speak only Telugu. Nanage baratte Telugu, Kannada baratte. I speak Tamil. I speak Kannada, I speak Telugu. I give lectures in all these languages. In Hindi too. So when we talk, when we discuss with our friends, the subject becomes ours. That's the only way. No teachers are acharyas. Okay? If an acharya teaches 25% only. Acharya padamadate. Padam shishya swamedeya. You study yourself, you get 25% mark. And when you discuss with your friends, you get 25% mark. 75% is guaranteed. That's why I said 75%. And 75% only after some time. But you will get 100%, you know why? Because you have options. Either this or this. When I write exams, I write many exams. When I write exams, if they have written 10 questions and they answer only 5, I will answer all the 10. Let the teachers read and learn at least. Correct, no? You get a chance. You don't have to pay extra money. And you have sufficient time. Many students have the problem, no time. Why? Because you have never practiced writing exams. If every day you write exams like this for your friend, how many exams you will write in 45 days? 45 exams, right? If you write 45 exams, the exam will give you tension. It becomes very simple for you. You will write very casually, no tension for you. If you every day ride a cycle, riding cycle becomes no tension for you. If you don't ride a cycle and start riding a single day, what will happen? You will have tension. That's why you have tension. And you will start telling your mother and father, go, I know everything. You will know everything. And if you don't know even after that, then it's not your mistake. Matta natta kumbala molako. Idu choicha madi achanona. Manasilayo. Now every day what to do is, whatever you learn, go and tell your parents. Teach them. Give me one subject which you learn in your class. Any subject. Physics, which chapter? Electricity. Which is the first chapter? Now when you read a subject also, there is a best method of learning subject. You want to learn the subject perfectly well. Anybody of you have got a physics textbook with you? Anyone who have any textbook, any subject? Let it be economics, let it be commerce. I teach students, one commerce student here, one economic student here, one physics student here, one mathematics student. 4 students around me, I teach all of them parallelly in half an hour. Tell me, which subject is that? Science. Come here. You tell me which chapter is the first chapter. Open it. Chapter name. There is an index. Chapter name can be read in index. You have not seen that so far. Okay, now you tell me what is the chapter name.
Chemical substances.
Chemical substance. What is next?
World of living.
What is next?
Effects of current.
Next.
Light.
Next.
Natural resources.
Is it the subject or the weightage given?
It's the guide. Chemical.
It's a guide. It's not a textbook. It cannot be. The textbook pattern, there is nice way of learning in the textbook. Okay? Which text is this? Now you read this. Chemical reactions and equations.
Acid, bases and salts.
Which class you are?
10th standard.
Same. Okay. Now you think why first chapter is first chapter, not second chapter is first chapter? Have you ever thought about this? You never thought about this, right? No? You just think. Why first chapter is first chapter? Only acid, bases, salt, chemical reactions and equations first, then metals and non-metals, carbon and its compounds.
Classification of elements.
Classification of elements will come only after learning all the classes first. You understood? So if you don't understand the way it has been given, that means you don't understand. Look at that. See, when you go for sightseeing, what you will do? Will you go inside the house and see every room, or will you see from outside first? Outside first, right? Then you love the house. You like the matter. Oh, the house is beautiful. Then you go inside, you will enjoy it more. Look at your textbook like you are seeing a house from outside. And you must know this. Oh, these are things which I have to learn. This is very simple, yeah? Our environment. Who cannot learn what is environment? You can learn what is our environment. You know what's our environment, right? No? Take the book, our environment. Our environment, close the book. Very simple, no? This I know, yeah? Our environment. Don't you know? Take a paper, write whatever you know on our environment. How many pages you can write? 1 page, 2 page, 3 pages, because you heard from your lecture and all that, right? After that, open the book. Start reading. Then you will understand what? Oh, I don't know our environment. Correct, no? Or you will understand, oh, I know our environment. If you don't know our environment, lift your hands up. Lift your hands up. Lift it. Take your hands up. Take it up. Take your hands up. Put it on your head. Environment. If you know, then what you do? Clap well and then say, well done. I know what's environment. Keep on doing it. Either you should feel happy about knowing, or you should feel unhappy about knowing. That's like feeling hungry and eating. Now when you read, you don't have that feeling. Now with the feeling, when you read, you will enjoy it. Now what you should do? After reading that environment, after finished reading the chapter, sit. After finished reading the chapter, what you do is, take a paper, write. You will know you have improved from before reading and after reading. There is a change in you. Who is testing you? You are testing yourself. Once you finish reading and you know everything, don't read the textbook after that. When you read, you know that I am going to read it again before exam. Don't you? Each one of you reading today one textbook, you plan that you are going to read it again. Don't you? If you plan, your brain will know that you are going to read, then brain will think, why should I concentrate now? I will read it later. Therefore, your concentration becomes less. Okay? So what you should do? Read it, tear it off, put it into fire. Don't read after that. Okay? Don't do that. What I am trying to say is, don't look at it after that. Read a textbook only once. Tell your brain, I am not going to read it. Assume you go for a picnic to Goa. And in your life, you are not going to go to Goa after that. Won't you see every portion with full concentration? Similar way, when you read, you must feel that I am not going to look at this book again in your life. Because you will never be able to look at your book again. After 10th class, will you read the 10th class book? Last chance, no? So why can't you use it perfectly? So when you read with the full concentration. Don't read with half concentration. Okay? How many hours you can read? Maximum 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, not beyond that. So after reading 20 minutes, close the book, go and tell your parents. Father, you know what is chemical reactions? Teach him what is an alloy, what is environment. Give a lecture to your mother. You know what's environment? Mother, father, somebody will be at home, no? If nobody is there, open the gate, brother, please come here, I will teach you what is environment. The best way to learn is to teach. Okay? That is the only difference between human being and animal. If you don't learn and teach, you are not a human being. This week is from 12th. 12th, what is the speciality? 12th January is considered as a special day. From 1985 onwards, India is celebrating 12th January as what day? No general knowledge. Youth Day. Why? Why is it Youth Day? It is your day and you don't know that it is Youth Day. If it is Valentine's Day, you will know because it has been published by somebody else, but not Indian government. And you are not celebrating for our own person. This is the biggest problem we have. We have no respect to our own people. You know why? Vivekananda's birthday. Vivekananda loved people like this, youth. And he never talked to people of old age. They said they are all useless. Only youth can make a change. Because once you change, your parents will change. Once your parents changes, you will not change because you will not listen to them. Okay, so what is that you should do? What Vivekananda says, education is for man making. If you become a good educated person, you are going to be a good human being. Why? Without learning, you cannot be perfect in life. Without learning, you cannot be great in life. I'm not trying to say learning is getting the degree certificate. It's not that. What is the difference between human being and animal? What is the difference? Thinking. Every animal also think. You can see cat and all thinking like this. What to do next? What will get for eating? Only difference is no dog will teach, no dogs will sit like this. Can you see everyone? No classrooms for dogs, right? Learning and teaching is only for human being. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunani, samani, chaitani, nranam, pashunam, gnanam, naranam, adigo, vishesho, gnane, vihina, pashubhi, samana. Ahara, you know what it is. Nidra, you have these two more. Right? No? Bhayam, that also you have. Maithunam, sex, thinking about sex, that also you have more. Those who don't have mustache, they keep more eyebrow pencil and make it. Those who have, they will start shaving it. No? Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunani, samani, chaitani, nranam, pashunam. These are equal for human being and animal. Gnanam, naranam, adhiko, vishesho. Gnanam, knowledge. Knowledge is extra to human being. Gnane vihina pashubhi samana. If you don't have knowledge, you are equal to an animal. So how many days in our life we don't learn? Many holidays? Correct, no? Your father, mother, do they learn anything every day? So call them, ask them what animal you are. The day you don't learn, you are an animal. And you will also become animal after some time. Many teachers, once they get job, they will not learn anything. Finished. History teachers. History is history. Why should I learn again? What history I should learn? Mathematics teachers. Once you learn once, the whole life you can teach that. It's not true. There are many things to learn in this world. Many things to learn. So keep on learning. Okay? Every moment you must learn. If you are not learning, you are an animal. Which animal? You can decide yourself. So try to learn every moment and try to become the best citizen of this country. When you learn, you feel happy. When you learn, you can earn. Correct? When you learn, you can become famous. So when you learn, you become famous, you also earn money. And that will remain in you forever. You can become famous without learning, but that fame will go after some time. But once you become a learned person, when somebody know you that you are a learned person, that will be in your manas throughout your life. and you can become so powerful. You can tell anything, everyone. Only the kings, the people who have position, will be respected only in the respective area. But if you are a knowledgeable person, wherever you go, people will start respecting you. So try to learn as much as you can. What you can't learn in this world, everything can be learned. Don't say that this is my field, this is my field. Everything is our field. Open up your brain. Keep learning everything. Now tomorrow onwards you will have lot of different disciplines of learning coming together. If you want to be a biotechnologist, what field you will take? People feel biology. No, biotechnology was developed by physics people. Nanotechnology is developed by physics people. Microbiology is developed by biology people. What is micro? 10 power minus 6, small. How small? This small, this small. Micro is 10 power minus 6. 10 power minus 6 biology is called microbiology. Nanotechnology. What is nano? 10 power minus 9. 10 power minus 9 technology is called nanotechnology. What is 10 power minus 9 technology? Anything can be 10 power minus 9. Why is it nano? That is because when you zoom in, the cell will be at minus 9. You will see cells, no? Biology, that will be at minus 9. Minus 6 to minus 9 you will see cell only. But inside that again if you will go, minus 13 if you go, you see atoms. After nucleus you will see atoms, right? No? In atoms what you will see? You will see nucleons, electrons and protons, right? Have you ever seen this? I said you will see. Will you see this? The whole life you will not see this. You want to see that? Now? Just now? Very simple, that's chemistry. Ask the chemistry teacher, have you seen an atom? You can see atoms. You can see atoms now. You want to see that? Jalandhara gade bhanu yat sushmam drishyate rajaha tasya tramshatamo bhagaha paramanu diti smrdaha. This sloka will tell you how to see that. Jalandhara gade bhanu. Take a bucket of water, put a torchlight. You will see small particles moving. See that? Tasya tramshatamo bhagaha. Divide that into 30 pieces, you will see an atom. So 30 atoms together you are able to see now. Correct, no? Now can you imagine what will be the size of an atom? Yes? If you cannot, next sloka will tell you that you are fool. Jnani nam drishti gojaraha. Only jnanis can see this. Do you agree that you are a jnani? Then you should see that yes, I am seeing. So atoms can be seen. What is the size of an atom? The rajaha. Now I will ask you a question. You have a hair? How many atoms you have to put together to get a hair thickness? Think. That is how you will understand. That is how you will realize. What is the thickness of this sheet? Or you take a paper, what is the thickness of that? You don't know. How to measure it? You don't know. Vernier calipers also cannot measure it. Correct? Take 100 sheets, measure it, divide by 100. Very simple, no? Correct, no? That's where you should use your creativity. You cannot wait. You can wait. What you should take? Now do you know the weight of a rice? One simple rice? You don't know. But what you do? When you buy 1 kilogram of rice, count how many rice are there. Half kilogram, 100 grams. And then you know the weight of a rice. Is it not? Similarly, Jalandhara gade bhanu yat sushmam drishyate rajaha tasya trimshatamo bhagaha paramanu diti smrdaha. How did the people taught this way of visualizing it? You take 30 atoms, put together, that is the size of one small rajaha. In a dark room, when a light falls inside, you will see small particle moving. It's not dust. It's called rajaha. Now that understanding is what is required. That means you are seeing it. Now you can tell that I have seen an atom. Correct? And you will enjoy learning. You will enjoy learning. Yada pinde tada brahmande. Yada pinde tada brahmande. What is pindam? Atom. In atom you have a nucleus and electrons moving around, right? To move around you need space. So nucleus is there, then there is space and electrons are moving. Anything when you zoom in, if you zoom this inside, you will see only atoms. And inside atoms you will see electrons and moving around. That means there is a space between one atom to another atom. That means there is a lot of gap, no? So every item which you are seeing is not solid, it is only vacuum. Like the sky, you are not seeing stars around. Correct, no? Around the sun, the planets are moving. What is more, whether the planet thickness, size, or the sun size, or the vacuum space? Vacuum space. The sky is much more larger than the planet, or the space is much more larger than the planet. Similarly, in each of our body, the space is much more larger, material is very less. And what is there in that vacuum? That who can see that? I can see through each one of you, because I can see those gaps. How can I see that gap? I am seeing that gap only. That gap which tells this atom to go around like this. And who tells that electrons should go like this around the nucleus? Who is telling that electrons? That is called your Shakti, your Jnanam, your knowledge, your consciousness, your Chit, your Chaitanyam, your Tejas, your God, your aura, life force energy. All these are same. And that consciousness have to be strong, your manas have to be strong. If you decide, it will happen. That's why when you get a cut on your body, you get pain. You know why pain? It tells the cells, there is a cut there, go and work there. Who is telling? Your consciousness. If you don't have pain, will you care that? If you don't care, it will never get healed. If you care more, you can heal it more. The leprosy patients have no pain. Therefore, once they get a cut, it will never get healed. So having pain is good or bad? Having pain is good. Have you ever thought about this? So having pain is good. When you get pain, a person who gets maximum pain on a cut will get cured faster. And get me a big cut here, I will never go to a doctor. I will just put it closer and then pray that it has to be healed. I have never seen a doctor for last 25 years. No sickness. I am strong. I can talk about health, I can talk about physical strength only when I am strong, right? If I am sick, can I talk like this? If my manas is not good, can I talk about manas? You can control your body from your manas. If you have interest, you will never feel sick. This to say only I said this much. Many people feel I am having headache, I am having stomach pain, I can't study. It's all stupid. That's because you have no interest, you are going to say that. I am feeling hungry, I want to go and eat. Why? Because you have no interest. If you have interest here, you will forget about all that. I am sure you are forgetting about your break. You will not feel tired. You will not feel like drinking water. You know when you will feel like drinking water? When you don't have nothing else to do. I can give hours together like this. Sit with me, good, brilliant, wonderful, good students. I can talk hours together like this. I will never feel tired and my students also will never feel tired. It's just because of interest. Sharira manaso yoga paraspara manuvrajet adhara adheya bhavena taptajya khadayoriva. The body and the mind is such a related. When the body get heated up, you put cold oil inside that, the oil will get heated up. The manas and the shariram is like that, relation. If your manas is active, you don't care, the shariram will be ready for you. That's why if you are interested in doing something, you can do hours together. If you are not interested, in few minutes you will feel tired. So what is required? Interest. How do you get it? Just think, this is the last chance for you in your life to become better. And each moment enjoy learning, enjoy studying, and your brain is not bad. Brain is good. How do you know? Have it been tested any time? You want to test your brain? You want to test your brain? You want to check whether you have buddhi or not? Yes. Who will pay me for that extra? Ready? Lift your hands up. Good. Give her a clap. Again free of course. Don't worry. Okay? Your brain is working or not? If it is working, how much good brain you have? You want to test? Okay. Now when I say 0, you are going to do an exercise, right? When you say 0, imagine on your lap, you have got some nice, what do you want? What do you want to eat? Biscuit. Imagine, no, so you can imagine the best one in the world, yeah? Ice cream, highly non-vegetarian. The worst meat balance which cannot be cooked, which cannot be eaten. All that waste is being powdered and then made as ice cream powder. Ice cream powder is the most non-vegetarian item available. And every vegetarian eat it very wonderfully well, saying, I am a vegetarian. Stupid people. Only green labeled ice creams are vegetarian ice creams, which will cost you much higher than the normal ice creams. All the waste meat which cannot be thrown out, that is powdered and then mixed together, make custard apple, ice cream powder, most of the chocolates, they're all non-vegetarian. Nothing wrong in eating. But never say you are a vegetarian. I am a high profile non-vegetarian long time back. I left all this 20 years back. What you eat is your character. The science is called microbiotics. Otherwise, Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, Kattu Amla Lavada Tyushna, etc. Slokas will tell you what sort of a character you are and why you have that character, because you are eating that sort of a food. The person who eats non-vegetarian, especially fish, the fish die with all the pain it has, right? Without getting breathe. Can you imagine what tension the fish will have? What worry the fish will have? And you eat the fish with all the blood inside clotted. When you cut the fish, how much blood will go out? Nothing. And what you are eating, not the fish alone, you are eating the blood also. When somebody gets disease, what changes? The blood character will change. So what you are eating is the blood which changed its character for making you more anxiety, more tension, more worried. And most of the people who eats will have respiratory problems, breathing problems, because the fish dies with the breathing problem. And you can have skin problems also. Seeing a person, we will say what food they are eating. If you have a disease, doctor will test your blood only, right? So those people who are eating blood are Rakshasas. And what eats? The fish eat the worst thing in the world. In our childhood, when we have a cut and it comes with pus, yellowish, we put our hand inside the river and fish will eat it and clean it up. So what is that which fish eats? Not the nice food. It eats the worst thing. And you eat such fishes, right? You want to talk about food alone? I can talk hours together. And you will never eat if I tell you more. Okay, don't worry. I was a high non-vegetarian. I ate dog, I ate snake, I ate the worst thing ever, because I was in Hong Kong as a student for presenting a paper. We got nice meat halwa. You see halwa, right? And that halwa is nice meat halwa there in Hong Kong. When I asked how do you make it, then I went to the factory and saw all the waste meat is pushed there inside and then made a nice halwa out. So sweet, nice to see. But once you see inside the factory, you know. And they said what we can't make as halwa is used for making custard powder and ice cream. So what do you stop? Can you imagine? That's what life is. We don't know what we are eating. Eat nice fresh food if you want to be good students. If your brain has to work, only Uttar Pradesh has to work. Your Madhya Pradesh is more concentrated, then you can eat all the dead body, and this becomes the place where the dead body gets cremated, and that is called Dahanam. Correct, no? Evide Dahipikya? Shmeshana. Evide Dahipikya? Vayar. Appa Vayar endanu? Shmeshana. So, moving Shmeshana. Each one of you becomes a moving Shmeshan. So one Shmeshan is going there. And what do you eat? You put all the dead bodies inside and then cremate it there. And people say that it is to make you much stronger. Elephant is a vegetarian. Yes or no? Is it not strong? It's strong. When you see an elephant, you feel like touching it. But do you feel like touching a lion? Why? It's much smaller than elephant because it is non-vegetarian. So don't touch your friend if she is or he is a non-vegetarian. They are all cruel people, right? Okay, discard them. Your father gets angry. You know why? He eats non-veg. If your father is a vegetarian, he will not get angry. And you eat vegetarian, you know why? Because you want to get angry tomorrow. You want to be sattvic? No, non-vegetarian. Rakshasic, drink a lot of blood. Tamasic, the Worst people who will not react on anything. That's why you don't have reactions. If you're all vegetarians, you will start dancing with energy. Eat nice, wonderful food. Lot of food is around. You don't have. I'm not trying to say that you should not, because if nothing else is available, what you will do? I went to Tibet, Himalaya, Manasa Sarovar Kailas Parikrama. You see the people there, they eat only yak meat. It's like it's somewhere between buffalo and donkey. That animal is called yak. They eat yak meat. You know how to cook? They don't even cook it perfectly. And for cooking also they don't have wood around, only small grasses. So they will take the yak dung, chanagam. That they will use it for cooking the yak meat. And you know what do they drink? There is no water there. They drink yak milk only. And one animal living on another animal. They have no other way. But we have nice vegetables around, nice greenery around. Eat as much as you can. Live food which has life, therefore you have life. If you eat a dead body, you will have dead body. And what do? Stinking, smelling. You put nice masala there to smell it well, because your nose is above the mouth. Nice food. And nice taste. How much? 1/4 inch. That much only taste by. After that 36 feet, the food has to go inside your body, and the body will say, "Oof, this fellow, I am bored." After some time, it will start telling, "No, I cannot work for you," and you will fall sick. Never be that. Okay? So we wanted an exercise, but I have reached somewhere else, right? This is my problem. Now what you do is take up the food, what you do, don't take ice cream. Take a nice idli. Okay? Put it in chutney and make it. At 0, keep it in your hand. 0. Keep it in your hand on lap. Ready? Everybody should do this. 0. Now when I say 10, it should reach mouth. Don't reach when I say 2. Don't do that. Okay? Don't keep it here until I say 8 and 9 and 10. Don't take it. You must gradually take it. 5 it should be here. 6 here. Don't move it after that. Okay? 7, 8, 9, 10. One movement only on one word. Okay? Don't try to gradually move it after that. Fine? Now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly it went to mouth. Okay? Now what you do is, you have nose above here. Touch this. Don't touch it like this. 90%, right? Nose tip. If you don't know, touch and see nose tip. It is there? Yes or no? Did not forget. It's there with you. Fingertip knows where the nose tip is, right? So what do you do? Keep your finger on the knees. Okay? 0, 1, 2, close your eyes. Don't do it opening your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't cheat yourself. You can cheat anybody else but not you. Okay? Now 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, yes, 7, 9. Don't open your eyes, close your eyes. You are at 9, 10. Did you exactly touch your nose? How many of you touched the nose? Please lift your hands up. Exactly who could touch the tip of the nose? Lift your hands up. If you could, please lift your hands up. It is to test your mind. Okay, these people have this character of digging the nose every now and then. Okay. If you are not, you will not know where your nose is. Okay. Don't shake hand with them, because they keep on doing it and shaking hand with them. Don't do that, okay? And you may also do it after some time. So you are taking somebody's nose and then eating it. Don't do that, okay? Don't touch somebody's hand just like that. Now keep your hands like this. Okay? Take it up and see whether it is touching. Exactly touching. Look up. Touching. Fine. Now what you do is, look down, close your eyes. Keep it here at 0. When at 10 you are going to touch this. Okay? No cheating. Don't try to manipulate after 10. If say 8, 9, 10. If it is there, there only. Then don't do this. Don't try to manipulate. You are not cheating. It's for you, for nobody else. All of you can do. Teachers also can do. The rare chance to test your brain. Is it working or not? 0. The other day I was giving a class for LIC. And one of the LIC person did not do that. I gave a punishment of kneeling down. Okay? So when I give class, all of you are my students. No distinction. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't cheat. Don't shift after this. 9, 10. Could you touch with the left finger the right finger? No. That means you don't know, or your right finger doesn't know where your left finger is. How much buddhi you have? We have only that much buddhi, right? And some people have this much only. That means 3 inch less buddhi. Some people have like this, more buddhi. Adi buddhi na. Some people have this problem, vakra buddhi. Okay? It's not that easy. See, you are able to take your hand exactly to mouth because every day you do it. And many times you do it. You are not able to do this because you are not doing it. Just practice for a few days, you will be able to do that. So this is to tell you that what do you practice is what you can do. You are not a good student because you have not been a good student. You want to change? Yes. You want to change? Yes. 18 days. Just decide from today onwards, 18 days, you keep on telling, I am the best student, I am going to change. 19th day, you will be the brilliant student. Keep telling everybody that I am the best student. When I was doing my BSc, you know why did I get 5th rank? I keep telling all the students I am the best student. Keep on telling them I am the best student. You ask me any question, I know. You ask me any question, I can answer, I said. People started asking questions. Not today, I will tell you tomorrow. Go and study and give them answer tomorrow. They started giving tough questions. You know that when you do mathematics, you have got exercise A, B, C, different categories. The tough questions they will collect from every book they will search to test me. I will also do work hard. And every question was answered there. And the whole book, which all the exercise questions are answered, was the gift which I given to my teachers. I said, take it and teach. Even today, after 25 years, teachers are using that. Nobody will solve those problems. You can do it. It's just to tell you that you can do this. Only thing you should decide you will do it. And you have got sufficient, wonderful brain with you. Keep your interest. You can select whatever you want. You can select whatever subject you want to study. Let it be economics, commerce, mathematics, subject, physics, chemistry. It doesn't matter. Your interest can be something different. Doesn't matter. My son is doing economics, but he is a wonderful photographer. I just never ask him, how is your studies? I only ask him, are you enjoying? Can you imagine a father asking that, are you studying? No, I don't care whether he studies or not. I just want to know whether he enjoys. If he is enjoying, means he is studying. You understood? So keep enjoying when you study. I am sure you will become a brilliant, wonderful student. The only way in life to improve is enjoy as a student. So you will enjoy as a employee. If you don't enjoy as a daughter, you are not going to enjoy as a parent. You will never become a good mother if you are not a good daughter. Keep on enjoying. Only I could do something just because of the blessing which I have from my mother. No time my mother has cursed me. Whenever I sleep, because I lost my father when I was 4 years old. So I don't even have memories of being with him. But mother all the time kept her hands on my hair and then said, you will become wonderful. And I was not. But only that blessing made me different. Okay? So try to be a good daughter and you will become wonderful. To be a good daughter, the only thing what you can do is not only cooking, not only studying, you should do everything. You should do everything at home. If you start preparing home well, there was a question to Abdul Kalam. How do you do social service? You know the answer was? Clean your table first. You understood? Many people do social service, but they don't do cleaner. Clean your table first. Who cleans your table? Somebody else. Who cleans your dress? Somebody else. Who washes who takes care of your shoe, whether it is good or bad? Mother or father, somebody else. Do it yourself. That's the best way to social service. You know how to do that? What's your age now? 15? 16? 17? No. Just close your eyes and think that you are not 15, 16, 17, you are 25, 26, 27. Just imagine that you are 10 years elder than you. What's your age now? No. Just imagine. Whenever you want to be good, whenever you want to be matured, whenever you want to be a changed person, whenever you want to study well, when you want to concentrate more, when you want to be matured, when you want to react with everybody very good, more confidence in what you do, just think that you are 10 years older. Just think that you are 10 years older and your behavior will change and your parents will keep saying, oh, my son and daughter, what a change they have become matured. Don't they? Will you fight with your sister? Or you will become very cool to them? But when you go back to your parents, become 2 years old, daughter and son. When you sleep on their lap, don't feel that you are 25 years old. Okay? Be the small kid. You want to get something from your father? Go and sleep on their lap. Your father is coming to scold? Please sit. I want to sleep on your lap. They will not scold you. Very simple. Every father, mother cannot scold you if just sleep on their lap. How many of you sleep on your father's or mother's lap? Very, very bad. Don't cry when your father die or mother die. Okay? You have no right to do that. Because if you don't love your mother or father, you can't cry for them. When they are living, just sleep on their lap. That is the best gift that you can give to them. Okay? If you cannot, once you lose them, there is no point in telling, oh, I had a mother, I had a father. No. You must spend time for them. How much time you will spend for them? Maybe tomorrow you will become engineer or get married or you go for a job. Do you have sufficient time with your parents? No. You will not have time. When you get married, you will not have time with your husband or wife. When you have your kids, you will not have time for them. Because you did not have time for your parents. It doesn't matter how much time you will spend, but the time you spend has to be good. Nimisham jolidam sreyam nadu dhumayitum chiram. Nimisham jolidam sreyam nadu dhumayitum chiram. It doesn't matter how much time you will spend. The time which you spend has to be useful and quite good. Vivekananda lived how many years? 32 years. Shankaracharya lived how many years? Very few years. But they are in our mind, right? Why? Because they lived differently. So live different. Be like a fire, not like a smoke. Nimisham jolidam sreyam. Fire, but don't become a smoke. Can you? Yes or no? Show your presence. When you are there, you must show your presence. You must show your presence as a daughter, as a mother, as a father. They should feel that, oh, I'm enjoying with my kid. You can spend only few minutes and then say, Father, I want to go and study. Today I am studying chemistry. Don't disturb me for another 1 hour. You will feel, no? What happened to this kid here? Don't they? Yes or no? And 1 hour you will be very great. You study as if you are 25 years old. Go back and say, Father, I finished. Now 5 minutes for me. Play with me. Won't they play with you? Now today they don't have respect with you. They don't care you. They don't have any faith in you because you are not doing what you are supposed to do. Yes. So change. So from today there has to be a change in you so that this class becomes worth. There has to be a spark to fire you. This is a golden opportunity for your life to change. must change. Be energetic all the time. Don't become dull. Okay? Agreeing? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'm not seeing that energy in here. Maybe these two groups in the first row. Okay? When I say 1, the first 2 row, right? Which is the first row? Say 1. First 2 rows, say 1. This much only. We are going to have a competition between all the rows. Let me see who is good. 1. Next 2 row 2. 3. Next 2 row. Next 2 row 4. Next 2 row 5. Next 2 row 6. Why no sound? There they are not agreeing with you. Now try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. They are not at all here. They don't have a brain which acts very fast. When I say 5, repeat 5, okay? 5, 3, 2. You are not 2. I said repeat when I say, right? But she is looking at my hands. This is the problem. Because eyes are much powerful than ears. You understood? Okay? We just follow what we see. We don't follow what we listen. So what you should do? Keep looking, keep listening. Let me see how good you are. 3, 2, 1, 5. 5 is not energetic here. Be 5. 5, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4. No sound. Must become louder, okay? Become louder. Now once you have the subject in your hand, once you have the presence of mind with you, once you have buddhi with you, you have decided that you want to change, nobody can stop you in this world. You can become brilliant, much more brilliant, and keep growing and learn anything in this world. Okay? You will enjoy not as a student, you will enjoy as a daughter, you will enjoy as a friend, and try to be very good with everybody. Mahatma Gandhi says, when you look at a person, deal as if that person is going to die next moment. Will you get angry? Will you get angry when somebody is going next moment? You know why did you put vibhuti there? You put vibhuti, right? No? Come here. What is that? What did you put? Sand. It's not vibhuti. It looks like white vibhuti. Go, sit. You have seen people putting vibhuti? You know why? It's just to say that I am going to be like this. Because after burning, what will happen? You will become ashes only, right? So when you put vibhuti, you are telling others that I am going to be ashes. Will you get angry with them? Every moment, deal with a person as if that person is going to die next moment. You will never get angry. But what you should do, learn like a person as if you are going to live in this world for a long time. Who said this? Mahatma Gandhi says. So you can be very good to everybody, and then your dealings becomes very good. How to be a good person? Talking nice words. Talking very nice words. Why we become bad to people? Because we have authority with them. Your mother is bad to you because they have a right on you. Correct, no? And what do? They find fault with you instead of loving. That's a problem. Assume they kept a glass of water here. By mistake your hand hits and it falls. What they will tell you? Don't you have two eyes? In the rent kannille. Le, angane la varaku variya? Le. Any other mistake, by mistake the mother's hand touches and falls it. You know what they will say? Who kept the glass here? Very fast they will know how to change it. And you know what's happening? They become so selfish, they start finding fault with somebody else. And it does happen. Never get angry. Now whenever somebody uses a bad word to you, just think and tell yourself, no problem. What do you say? Say, repeat it, no problem. No problem. Louder, yeah. No problem. Not enough. Whatever happens, you say no problem. Say, we are going to fail. No problem. Because you can again write exams. Right now you can write compartment. If you don't pass in compartment, open school you can write and then get in half. 1 week, you can again pass your exams. There is one scheme. You know that open school scheme? You fail in all the exam and come to me. In 1 week I will give you certificate, +2 certificate. 10th certificate also 1 week. Certificate is not difficult. It's not difficult to get certificate. But you have got, after that, so many entrance exam. You want to get inside the gate, you need to have entrance, Correct? There you cannot pass. There what questions will come? Logical questions. Lot of examination. We have a wonderful system in Andhra Pradesh where I live. I am from Hyderabad. That's where my family is there. My younger son, who is in 11th class, is in Andhra Pradesh. You know what happens? If you get 96% mark in CBSE, 10th class, colleges will come home. The manager, please join your son in my college. Then we start bargaining. What you will give? We will give Bisreli water every day. Because bright students are the asset for the class. Everybody is not 96%. Correct, no? And if they get some 96% students, they give free education. My son is not paying a single penny. Transportation free, education free. Just because he got 97% mark. CBSE. My elder son never paid money. He got 12,000 rupees every year. But what will happen in the same class, the brilliant student will not pay and next student who is 80% will pay 20% fees. And the fees is 1 lakh. 80% marks, they will have to pay 20,000 rupees. And those who get 40% will have to pay 60,000, 70,000 rupees. You know the value of education there then? And not that, every day there will be a test. And those who get first will sit in the front row. Second will sit in the next row. So there is a grading in the class itself. So every day you will be thinking I have to go in the first row. Tight competition, every day exam. How many exams they will write in +1, +2? 600 exams. So will they have a problem in writing IIT? They are trained for writing IIT like this. And after first year, if you are not performing well, you will have to pay those 2 years fees. The punishment is that. Will you study well? That is what the competition spirit you should have. Let it be there. But in Kerala it will not work. Socialism. Every donkey and horse have to be same here. Nobody can run faster and slower. Socialism. Everybody has to be equal. Very bad state. Doesn't matter. You are a wonderful place. Because I could speak like this because I belong to this place. We are wonderful. We have got brilliance here. No other country, no other place. The other day I was talking to nurses in the New City Hospital. 80% of the nurses are Malayalis. You go most of the places we have wonderful people because we have wonderful brain. Use it. Use it. The system is not supporting you. The government is not supporting you. The brilliant student should get more benefit, right? That's not happening. But don't worry about all that. Once you become wonderful and never try to. The other day I was going to Adimali. I could see students from Kasargod, Kannur. 40% students are from Kasargod, Kannur. In a B.Ed college in Adimali. I was asking why. Many of the teachers are from this place. Few of the teachers are my colleagues in Pioneer College, and somebody is from the Platra. Those are the teachers teaching there. And we have a wonderful place. Lot of things to learn. And never think that I am not from a good family, so I cannot learn. If I would have been the son of Sonia Gandhi, I could have become Prime Minister now. Can it be changed? Nothing can be changed. Doesn't matter which family you belong to. Doesn't matter who or which teacher teaches you. It doesn't matter. What matters is whether you have good friends or not. Who says this? Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata. Heard these stories? Just read this or heard somewhere. There are a lot of things to learn from that. You know, in Mahabharata you have two people, one Dharmaputra and Duryodhana. They are fighting. Are they from the same family? Yes? They studied with the same professor. Their guru was same. And if Duryodhana writes Dharma Shastra examination, he will get 100% mark. But what happened? He never implemented it. Why he could not practice what he learned? Because who was Shakuni? Whose company? Duryodhana's company. And Dharmaputra's company was Sri Krishna. So you are good or bad, not based on the teacher, not based on the family, but just based on the friends. So see whether you are sitting with Shakuni or not. Okay, that's why I said if you have good friends, you can become better. And Shakuni is from which place? Kandahar, Gandhar Naresh. Kandahar is Afghanistan. So what Mahabharata story says? Never have company with Afghanistanis. Okay, that's a moral of story. Is it good? So today also, Afghanistanis are different, right? They are not able to live the style in which the other part of the world is living. Kandahar, Shakuni's place. It all started. How many years over? 5,142 years over. Even today, this is the same situation. Yesterday, day before yesterday was Makara Sankranti. Okay, what is Makara Sankranti? The sun goes from Dakshinayanam to Uttarayanam. And that is auspicious. And that is why Bhishma, even though he died 22nd November 3102 BC, exact date. Mahabharata happened on that day and Bhishma was on the nice Dunlop bed. Okay? And then he said, I am not going to die. Let the sun go from there and then come back. That time is the best time to die. You know, he selected his own time of death. And he knew astronomy perfectly well. He knew all the science perfectly well. And he was a good warrior. He was a good fighter too. Right? Agradas Chaduro Veda Prishtajas Shasharam Dhanur. It's not knowledge alone you should have. You should also have good strength. If somebody comes and fight, you should fight back. It's not only mathematics which we know. I also learned Kalaripayat and Karate also. Fight if somebody comes. You must fight. If you are not good a fighter, you will not be able to live some time. So what you should do? Become strong. Physically, emotionally, intellectually, socially, spiritually. Tell me. Physically, intellectually, socially, spiritually stronger. And then that means your personality development is done and you become best. And how do somebody know that you are good or bad? How did you know that I am good or bad? Just by the words which I pronounce, right? A person is evaluated by the way they speak. You must be good in speaking. Having sufficient knowledge is not enough. You must be able to deliver it well. How do you do it? Keep practicing. The only way to be a good student, good person, is to interact with the people. Once you start teaching somebody else, you will become an expert in writing. Expert in telling whatever you want to tell. So you should have good communication skill. Don't ever use bad words. Mone എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നല്ല വാക്കോ ചീത്ത വാക്കോ? നല്ല വാക്ക്. മോളെ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നല്ല വാക്കോ ചീത്ത വാക്കോ? നല്ല വാക്ക്. പട്ടി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നല്ല വാക്കോ ചീത്ത വാക്കോ? നല്ല വാക്കാണ്. പട്ടിക്ക് വല്ല കുഴപ്പമുണ്ടോ? പക്ഷെ ദേഷ്യം വരുമ്പോൾ രണ്ടും കൂടി കൂട്ടി യോജിക്കും. അത് പാടില്ല. മനസ്സിലാവണ്ട? അപ്പൊ വാക്കുകൾക്കൊന്നും തെറ്റില്ല. എന്താ കുഴപ്പം? അത് കൂട്ടുന്നതിലാണ് കുഴപ്പം. അതാരാ കൂട്ടുന്നത്? ബുദ്ധി, മനസ്സ്. അപ്പൊ മനസ്സ് എന്താവണം? ക്ലീൻ ആവണം. വാക്ക് മന. വാക്ക് കംസ് ഫ്രം മന. വാക്ക് എവിടുന്നാ വരുന്നത്? മനസ്സെന്നാണ് വരുന്നത്. ബുദ്ധി എന്നാണോ വരുന്നത്? അല്ല. അപ്പൊ മനസ്സിലാണ് വാക്കുകൾ ഉള്ളത്. ആ വാക്ക് മനസ്സെന്ന് വരുമ്പോ മനസ്സുണ്ടോ? കൊടുത്തു ആർക്കെങ്കിലും? ആ മനസ്സിന്ന് വാക്കുകൾ വരണം. വാക്ക് എങ്ങനെ വരിക? ശുദ്ധമായ വാക്കുകൾ സൂക്ഷിച്ചാൽ ശുദ്ധമായ വാക്ക് വരും. അപ്പൊ മനസ്സ് ശുദ്ധമായാൽ വാക്ക് ശുദ്ധമായി. അപ്പൊ വാക്ക് മനസ്സെങ്ങനെ ശുദ്ധാക്കുക? കുറച്ച് വിം പൗഡർ ഒക്കെ എടുത്തിട്ടൊന്ന് ക്ലീൻ ചെയ്യാം. പറ്റുമോ? വാക്ക് മന ചക്ഷു. എങ്ങനെ വാക്കുകൾ കിട്ടുന്നത് മനസ്സിൽ? ചക്ഷു കാണുന്നതാണ് മനസ്സിൽ സൂക്ഷിക്കുക. ശ്രോത്ര കേൾക്കുന്നതാണ് മനസ്സിൽ സൂക്ഷിക്കുക. ഘ്രാണ ശ്വസിക്കുന്നതാണ് മനസ്സിൽ സൂക്ഷിക്കുക.
ജിഹ്വാരേതോ ബുദ്ധ്യാകൃതി സങ്കല്പാമേ ശുദ്ധ്യന്താം. സങ്കല്പിച്ചിട്ടും നമ്മൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കും പുതിയ വാക്കുകൾ. അങ്ങനെയാണ് ഈ രണ്ട് വാക്കുകളും കൂടി കൂട്ടിച്ചേർത്ത് പുതിയ വാക്കുണ്ടാക്കിയത് അല്ലെ. അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? അത് ശുദ്ധമാക്കണം. അതെങ്ങനെ ശുദ്ധാക്കുക? പരിപ്പ് വട. ഞാനിപ്പോ എന്താ പറഞ്ഞേ? പരിപ്പ് വട. ഇത്രയും സമയം പരിപ്പ് വട നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നോ? ഇപ്പൊ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടോ? എങ്ങനെയാ വന്നത്? ഞാൻ വാക്ക് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോ പരിപ്പ് വടയുടെ ചിത്രം മനസ്സിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവന്നു അല്ലേ? എന്താ ടേസ്റ്റ് പരിപ്പ് വടക്ക്. അപ്പൊ ആ ടേസ്റ്റും മനസ്സിൽ വന്നു. അതിന്റെ ഷേപ്പ് വന്നു, വാക്ക് വന്നു, ഷേപ്പ് വന്നു, ടേസ്റ്റ് വന്നു. ഇതൊക്കെ നമുക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. സോ ഒരു ഇന്ദ്രിയം കേട്ടാൽ മറ്റേ ഇന്ദ്രിയവുമായിട്ട് ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി കണക്റ്റഡ് ആവും, ആവില്ലേ? അപ്പൊ അതുപോലെ നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിൽ ഓരോ ഷേപ്പുകളും വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഈ ഇന്ദ്രിയങ്ങൾ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് നമ്മൾ അറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടാണോ? ഫാസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട്, വളരെ ഈസി ആയിട്ട് സംഭവിക്കും അല്ലേ? പഠിക്കുന്ന സാധനം മാത്രം, കേട്ട സാധനം മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. കേൾക്കാത്തത് ഫീൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ? അറിയാത്തത് പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? പറ്റും. എങ്ങനെ? ആലോചിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടാക്കേണ്ടി വരും. കട്ട്ലറ്റ് ഇഷ്ടമാണോ? പിസ്സ ഇഷ്ടമാണോ? ഐസ്ക്രീം ഇഷ്ടമാണോ? കപ്പാസോ ഇഷ്ടമാണോ? എന്താ അത് അല്ലേ? ഇത്രയും പറഞ്ഞ സമയത്ത് ഓരോ ഷേപ്പ് നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്നോ? ഓരോ ടേസ്റ്റ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാമായിരുന്നോ? ഇല്ലാത്തൊരു സാധനം ഞാനിപ്പോ പറഞ്ഞു. അങ്ങനെ സാധനം ഇല്ല ലോകത്ത്. വെറുതെ പറഞ്ഞതാ ഒരു വാക്ക്, കപ്പാസോ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ആലോചിച്ചോ എന്താ സാധനം. ഇനിയിപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറയാം, കപ്പാസോ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഇഡ്ഡലി പോലെ ഒരു സാധനമാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ ഷേപ്പ് വന്നോ ഇല്ലേ? ഇഡ്ഡലി പോലെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോ ഇഡ്ഡലി ആണോ? ഷേപ്പ് ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി നിങ്ങൾ. അങ്ങനെ ഊഹിക്കാൻ കഴിവ് മനുഷ്യന് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇല്ലാത്ത സംഭവങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. എപ്പോഴേ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ പറ്റൂ? കുറച്ച് വിവരം ഉണ്ടായാൽ. ഇപ്പൊ ഇഡ്ഡലിയെ പോലെ എന്ന് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോഴാണ് മനസ്സിലായതല്ലേ? ഇഡ്ഡലി അറിയാത്ത ഒരാൾക്കത് മനസ്സിലാവും. എന്തെങ്കിലും കുറച്ച് നോളജ് ഉണ്ടാവുമ്പോഴേ പിന്നെ നോളജ് ആഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ, ആ നോളജ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. സാധാരണ കലണ്ടർ ഉണ്ട് ഇല്ലേ വീട്ടില്? കലണ്ടർ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആണോ? ആർക്കാ യൂസ്ഫുൾ? ഇത് ഏത് വർഷമാണെന്നറിയണം, ഏത് മാസമാണെന്നറിയണം, ഇത് ഏത് ഡേറ്റ് ആണെന്നറിയണം. അറിഞ്ഞാൽ ആഴ്ച കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാം. ഇതൊന്നും അറിയാത്ത ആൾക്ക് അത് യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആണോ? അപ്പൊ കലണ്ടർ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ എന്താ ആൻസർ? വിവരം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആണ്, വിവരം ഇല്ലാത്തവനോ യൂസ്ഫുൾ അല്ല. അപ്പൊ എല്ലാ കാര്യവും എങ്ങനെ? അപ്പൊ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? നമ്മൾ മാക്സിമം പഠിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ ബാക്കി പഠിക്കാൻ ഭയങ്കര എളുപ്പമായിരിക്കും. ആർക്കാ പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്തത്? ഒന്നും പഠിക്കാത്ത ആൾക്ക്. അപ്പൊ എപ്പോഴാ പഠിച്ചു തുടങ്ങേണ്ടത്? പറ്റുന്നതും വേഗം. ഇപ്പൊ പഠിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റാണ്ടാവും. അതുകൊണ്ട് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? കീപ് ഓൺ ലേണിംഗ് ആസ് മച്ച് ആസ് യു ക്യാൻ. ഓക്കെ, കീപ് ലേണിംഗ്. ദാറ്റ്സ് ദ ബെസ്റ്റ് വേ ടു പ്രാക്ടീസ്. എപ്പോ തുടങ്ങണം? Why do you want to start later? Start now. This moment. Okay? ഒരു മാത്സ് പറഞ്ഞു, ഒരു കെമിസ്ട്രി പറഞ്ഞു, ഒരു ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പറഞ്ഞു, ഫിസിക്സ് പറയണോ? സാധാരണ തർപ്പണം ചെയ്യാന്നിട്ട് പരിപാടി കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ? വെള്ളം എടുത്തിട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ അങ്ങോട്ട് ഒഴിച്ചുകൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കും. അതിനാണ് തർപ്പണം ചെയ്യാറ്. അത് ചെയ്യണ സമയത്ത് സൂര്യ നമസ്കാരം ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഒരു മന്ത്രം ചെല്ലാം. യോജനാനാം സഹസ്രേ ദ്വേഷദേ ദ്വേജ യോജനേ ഏകേന നിമിഷാർദ്ധേന ക്രമമാണ് നമസ്തുതേ. അറിയോ എന്താന്ന്? യോജനാനാം സഹസ്രേ ദ്വേഷദേ ദ്വേജ യോജനേ. യോജന എന്ന് കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ? രാമായണത്തിലെ കഥയിൽ പറയണ്ടോ? കുറെ യോജനകൾ ചാടി എന്ന് പറയും. യോജന എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ് ആണ്. 12.11 കിലോമീറ്റർ ആണ് ഒരു യോജന. യോജനാനാം സഹസ്രേ ദ്വേഷദേ ദ്വേജ യോജനേ. 2 സഹസ്ര, ദ്വേഷദേ 200, പിന്നെ 2 2202 യോജന 12.11. 2202 multiplied by 12.11. ഓ സൂര്യ, 2202 multiplied by 12.11. ഇത്രയും ദൂരം നീ വരികയാണ്. എത്ര സമയം കൊണ്ട്? ഏകേന നിമിഷാർദ്ധേന, ഹാഫ് ഓഫ് എ നിമിഷ. എത്രയാ ഹാഫ് ഓഫ് എ നിമിഷ? ഒരു നിമിഷ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു ഐലിഡ് കൺപോള അടച്ചു തുറക്കാനുള്ള സമയം. ഒരു സെക്കൻഡ് അല്ല, 0.28 സെക്കൻഡ് ആണ്. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ പകുതി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ 0.14. 2202 multiplied by 12.11 divided by 0.14 will give you velocity of light. അപ്പൊ സാധാരണ ഒരു പ്രാർത്ഥന എന്താണ്? വെലോസിറ്റി ഓഫ് ലൈറ്റ് ആണ്. ഈ പ്രാർത്ഥനയിലൊന്നും ആർക്കെങ്കിലും അറിയോ? ചില ക്ഷേത്രങ്ങളുടെ അകത്ത് പൂജ നടത്തുന്നതാണ്. ഏകാചമേ 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 തൃശ്യഷ്ടമേ തൃശ്യഷ്ടമേ പഞ്ചജമേ പഞ്ചജമേ സപ്തജമേ സപ്തജമേ നവജമേ നവജമേ ഏകാദശജമേ ഏകാദശജമേ ത്രയോദശജമേ ചൊല്ലിക്കൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കും. അവിടെ ചോദിക്കുക എന്താ ഇതിനർത്ഥം എന്ന്. ആർക്കും മനസ്സിലാവില്ല. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സിന് മാർക്ക് കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് പൂജാരിക്ക് കാശ് കൊണ്ട് കൊടുക്കും. പൂജ അകത്ത് പോയിട്ട് ഇത് ചൊല്ലിക്കൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കും. എന്താ പറയണ അറിയോ? ഏകാചമേ 1, തൃശ്യഷ്ടമേ 3 പഞ്ചചമേ 5 സപ്തചമേ നവചമേ അരിത്തമാറ്റിക് പ്രോഗ്രഷൻ. ഓക്കെ, കുറച്ച് ഭഗവാന്മാർക്ക് അരിത്തമാറ്റിക് പ്രോഗ്രഷൻ ഇല്ല, അടുത്ത ചാപ്റ്റർ കൊടുക്കും. അടുത്ത ചാപ്റ്റർ എന്താ? അരിത്തമാറ്റിക് പ്രോഗ്രഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെന്ത് പ്രോഗ്രഷനാണ് പഠിക്കുക? ജിയോമെട്രിക് പ്രോഗ്രഷൻ. ഏകം ച ഏകം ച ഏകം ച ദശം ച ദശം ച ശതം ച ശതം ച സഹസ്രം ച സഹസ്രം ച ആയുധം ച അയുധം ച നിയുതം ച നിയുതം ച വയുതം ച വയുതം ച പ്രയുതം ച പ്രയുതം ച കയുതം ച, അങ്ങനെ ചൊല്ലി 10⁻57 വരെ പോകും. ഏകം ച 1, ദശം 10, ശതം 100, സഹസ്രം 1000, അയുധം 10000, ത്രയുധം കയുധം വയുധം ത്രയുധം ചയുധം, അങ്ങനെ പോകും. എത്ര വരെ എന്നറിയോ? 10⁻57 വരെ. ഏത് കാലത്താണെന്നറിയോ? ഈ ലോകത്തിന്റെ മറ്റു ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ ആർക്കും നമ്പർ സിസ്റ്റം അറിയാത്ത കാലത്ത് നമ്മൾ അത് പഠിച്ചുകൊണ്ടേയിരുന്നു. ആലോചിച്ചൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ എത്ര ഗ്രേറ്റ് ആണ്. ആർ വി നോട്ട് ഗ്രേറ്റ്? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് ഈ ഗ്രേറ്റ്നെസ് എന്നറിയോ? ബിക്കോസ് വി ബിലോങ് ടു ദിസ് വേൾഡ്. ഏത് രാജ്യത്ത്? ഭാരതത്തിൽ. എല്ലാവരും ലിഫ്റ്റ് യുവർ ഹാൻഡ്സ് അപ്പ്, ടേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ബാക്ക് ആൻഡ് സേ വെൽ ഡൺ. You are great. Each one of us are great. Himalayam samarabhya yavat hindu sarovaram tam deva nirmidam desham hindustanam prachakshade. ഈ രാജ്യത്ത് ജീവിക്കാൻ സാധിച്ച നമ്മുടെ ഭാഗ്യം എന്ന് ആലോചിക്കണം. ഈ രാജ്യത്ത് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ ഇത്രയും കഴിവുകൾ. ഇത്രയും കഴിവുള്ള ജനങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ലോകത്തെ ഫുൾ ഭരിക്കാൻ കഴിവുള്ളവരുണ്ട് നമ്മൾ. നമ്മുടെ പണ്ട് കാലത്തെ രാജാക്കന്മാര് അവരുടെ കുതിരപ്പുറത്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ കഴുതപ്പുറത്ത് കുളി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മാറ്റാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി കൊണ്ടുപോകുന്ന ഡ്രസ്സും ആഭരണങ്ങളും മാത്രം ഉണ്ടായി ഇന്ന് അമേരിക്ക ഫുൾ മേടിക്കും. അത്രയും റിച്ച് ആയിരുന്നു അവരുടെ ആഭരണങ്ങൾ. ആലോചിച്ച് നോക്കുക, അവർ തലയിൽ വെച്ചിരുന്ന കിരീടത്തിന്റെ ഒക്കെ വില എന്തുണ്ടായിരുന്നു അല്ലേ? മഹാത്മാഗാന്ധിയെ പോലെ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു വ്യക്തി ഇന്ന് ഈ ലോകത്തിലുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ എല്ലാ സ്ത്രീകളുടെ അടുത്തുനിന്നും പുരുഷന്മാരുടെ അടുത്തുനിന്നും അവരുടെ ദേഹത്തുള്ള ആഭരണത്തിന്റെ പകുതി ഭാഗം നമുക്ക് തിരിച്ചെടുക്കാൻ പറ്റിയാൽ ഈ ലോകം ഫുൾ ഇന്ത്യക്കാർക്ക് മേടിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. ഇത്രയും റിച്ച് ആയിട്ട് വേറെ ലോകത്തിൽ ആരുമില്ല. ലോകത്തിന്റെ പല ഭാഗത്തും യാത്ര ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഓസ്ട്രേലിയയിൽ പോയിട്ടൊരു സ്ഥലത്ത് ഒരു ഗവൺമെന്റ് ഒരു സാധനം മേടിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് അതിന്റെ സ്പെഷ്യലിസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഞാനാ പോയത്. അവിടുത്തെ കമ്പനിയുടെ ഉടമ അയാൾക്ക് ഇന്ത്യൻ ഫുഡ് കുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് അറിയിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഇന്ന് രാത്രി ഭക്ഷണം അവിടെ കഴിക്കാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ശരിയെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പൊ എന്നോട് ചോദിച്ചു, സാറ് ചപ്പാത്തി കഴിക്കുമോ ചോദിച്ചു. ഓ, ഞാൻ ചപ്പാത്തി കഴിക്കും, എനിക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമാണെന്ന്. എത്ര ചപ്പാത്തി കഴിക്കുന്നു ചോദിച്ചു. നമ്മൾ ആരെങ്കിലും വീട്ടിൽ വിളിക്കുമ്പോൾ ചോദിക്കുമോ നിങ്ങൾ എത്ര കഴിക്കുന്നു ചോദിക്കും. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, നല്ല ചപ്പാത്തി ആണെങ്കിൽ 5-10 കഴിക്കും, ചീത്തയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒന്നും കഴിക്കില്ല. അയാൾക്കത് പിടിച്ചില്ല. കൃത്യമായിട്ട് പറയണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. 4 ചപ്പാത്തി കഴിക്കാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അടുത്ത ചോദ്യം, എന്ത് സബ്ജിയാ വേണ്ടെന്ന്, കറി എന്താ ഉണ്ടാക്കേണ്ടതെന്ന്. നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞാൽ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് അവരുണ്ടാക്കുള്ളൂ. അതൊക്കെ ശരി. എനിക്ക് അപ്പോഴേ തോന്നി ഇവർ ദരിദ്രവാസികളാണ്. ആ വീട്ടിൽ പോയപ്പോഴാണ് ശരിക്കും ദാരിദ്ര്യം കണ്ടത്. അയാളുടെ ഭാര്യ ഒന്നും ഇട്ടിട്ടില്ല. ഈ ഫോറിനേഴ്സൊക്കെ ഒന്നും ഇടാണ്ട് നടക്കുന്നത് ദാരിദ്ര്യം കൊണ്ടാന്ന് അപ്പോഴാണ് എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായത്. ആലോചിച്ച് നോക്കാം, നമ്മളൊക്കെ എന്ത് റിച്ചാന്നല്ലേ. സാധാരണ ഒരു വീട്ടിലൊരു കല്യാണത്തിന് എത്ര ഭക്ഷണം ഉണ്ടാക്കും? ഒരു 300 പേരെ വിളിച്ച് 500 പേർക്ക് കഴിക്കാനുള്ള ഉണ്ടാക്കില്ലേ? ആർ വി നോട്ട് റിച്ച്? നെവർ എവർ കൺസിഡർ ദിസ് വേൾഡ് ഈസ് ബാഡ്. നമ്മൾ ജീവിക്കുന്ന ഈ രാജ്യം ഏറ്റവും നല്ല രാജ്യമാണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് തോന്നണം. ഓക്കെ, നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്തോട് സ്നേഹം ഉണ്ടാവും. പക്ഷെ നമുക്കില്ല അത്. നമ്മളിപ്പം ശ്രീലങ്കയിൽ അല്ലെ സിംഗപ്പൂരിൽ പോണ സമയത്ത് ഒരു ചോക്ലേറ്റ് പുറത്ത് അതിന്റെ കവർ ഇട്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഉടനെ ഫൈൻ അടിക്കുന്നു. കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ? കാരണം ഞാൻ അവിടെ പോയ സമയത്ത് ഞാൻ നോക്കി, ചുറ്റും പോലീസൊന്നും ഇല്ലല്ലോ, പിന്നെ ആരാ പിടിക്കാൻ നമ്മളെ? ആ ടാക്സി ഡ്രൈവറോട് ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു, ഈ ചോക്ലേറ്റിന്റെ പേപ്പർ എടുത്തിട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ചെറിയൊരു ബില്ലുണ്ടായിരുന്നു കയ്യിൽ, ഇത് ഞാൻ പുറത്തേക്ക് ഇട്ട് എന്താ ചെയ്യാ? പോലീസൊന്നും പിടിക്കില്ല, ഇവിടെ പോലീസൊന്നും കാണാനില്ല. പോലീസോ? ഞാൻ പിടിക്കും നിങ്ങളെ. ആരാ പിടിക്കുക? ടാക്സി ഡ്രൈവർ. ആർക്കാ റെസ്പോൺസിബിലിറ്റി? നമുക്കാണ്, സിറ്റിസൺസിന്. വി ആർ ഓൾ ഫൂൾസ്. മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദ പീപ്പിൾ ആർ ഫൂൾസ് ഹിയർ. ഇത്രയും പറയാൻ കാരണമുണ്ട്. പലപ്പോഴും പല മറ്റു രാജ്യങ്ങളും പറയുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ കേട്ടിട്ട് തുള്ളുന്നവരാണ് നമ്മളെ, അല്ലേ? ഗ്ലോബൽ വാർമിംഗ് ഭയങ്കര പ്രോബ്ലം അല്ലേ? ആണോ? സ്റ്റുപ്പിഡ്. ദർ ഈസ് നോ പ്രോബ്ലം ലൈക്ക് ഗ്ലോബൽ വാർമിംഗ്. ദർ ഈസ് നോ പ്രോബ്ലം ലൈക്ക് ഗ്ലോബൽ വാർമിംഗ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ബിഗ് അമേരിക്കൻ പൊളിറ്റിക്സ്. CPM-കാര്, എനിക്ക് പാർട്ടിയൊന്നുമില്ല കേട്ടോ, CPI-യോ CPM-ഓ ഏതാണ് പോലും അറിയില്ല. ബിനോയ് വിശ്വം ഏത് പാർട്ടിക്കാരനാണ് അതും അറിയില്ല. പന്നിയം രവീന്ദ്രൻ ഏത് പാർട്ടിക്കാരൻ? CPI. ആ പാർട്ടിക്കാർ അവരാണ് എന്നെ വിളിച്ചത്. ആ പാർട്ടിക്കാർ വിളിച്ചു ഗ്ലോബൽ വാർമിങ്ങിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയാൻ. കീനോട്ട് അഡ്രസ്. ഞാനായിരുന്നു മെയിൻ സ്പീക്കർ. ONV കുറുപ്പ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഭാസ്കരൻ മാഷ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, പന്നിയം രവീന്ദ്രൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, CK ചന്ദ്രപ്പൻ MLA ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഇവരൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. IV ശശാങ്കൻ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. IV ശശിയുടെ ബ്രദറാണ് IV ശശാങ്കൻ. അവരൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു ഇതൊക്കെ തട്ടിപ്പാണ്. എന്താ കാരണം പറയാൻ? നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ ഒരു കാര്യം ആരെങ്കിലും പറയണത് കേട്ടാൽ അത് അതുപോലെ ഫോളോ ചെയ്യും ഇല്ലേ? തിങ്ക് ഡിഫറെന്റ്ലി. ഡു യു തിങ്ക് ദാറ്റ് ഐ എം തിങ്കിങ് ഡിഫറെന്റ്? ഇല്ലേ? തിങ്ക് ഡിഫറെന്റ്ലി. അങ്ങനെ വ്യത്യസ്തമായിട്ട് ചിന്തിക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാവും ഇതൊക്കെ തട്ടിപ്പാണെന്ന്. പേപ്പറിൽ റിപ്പോർട്ട് വരും 2050 ആകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും 2 ഡിഗ്രി ചൂട് കൂടുന്നു അല്ലേ? എത്ര ഡിഗ്രി കൂടും? 2 ഡിഗ്രി ചൂടിന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പേടിയുണ്ടോ? പിന്നെ എന്തിനാ ഭയപ്പെടുന്നത്? ഡൽഹിയില് ഞാൻ 2 കൊല്ലം ഡൽഹിയിലായിരുന്നു ക്യാബിനറ്റ് സെക്രട്ടേറിയറ്റിൽ. അവിടെ 4 ഡിഗ്രിയാണ് തണുപ്പ് കാലത്ത്, 44 ഡിഗ്രിയാണ് സമ്മറിൽ. എത്ര ഡിഗ്രി കൂടുന്നുണ്ട്? 40 ഡിഗ്രി. എത്ര മാസം കൊണ്ട്? 6 മാസം. ഈ 6 മാസത്തില് 40 ഡിഗ്രി കൂടിയാൽ അവിടെ മനുഷ്യന്മാർക്ക് ജീവിക്കാൻ പറ്റുമെങ്കിൽ 50 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞ് 2 ഡിഗ്രി കൂടിയാൽ നമുക്ക് വല്ല പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടാവും? ഇതിനുപയോഗിക്കുന്ന മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സ് എന്താണെന്നറിയോ? ഇത്രയും കാലം ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മെഷർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഗ്രാഫ് വരച്ചിട്ട് അടുത്ത 50 കൊല്ലം കഴിയുമ്പോൾ എവിടെ എത്തും നോക്കിയിട്ടാണ് പ്രെഡിക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. എപ്പോഴൊക്കെയാണ് മെഷർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്? കഴിഞ്ഞ കുറേ കൊല്ലങ്ങളായിട്ട്. എത്ര കൊല്ലം മുമ്പാണ് മെഷർ ചെയ്തത്? 20 കൊല്ലം മുമ്പ്. 20 കൊല്ലം മുമ്പ് ആരെങ്കിലും കണ്ണൂരിൽ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മെഷർ ചെയ്ത് കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ? 100 കൊല്ലം മുമ്പ് എവിടെയെങ്കിലും ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മെഷർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ? എവിടെയില്ല. കാരണം എന്താ അറിയോ? എല്ലായിടത്തും ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മെഷർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എയർപോർട്ടിലാണ്. എയർപോർട്ടിൽ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മെഷർ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ എയർപോർട്ട് ഉണ്ടാവണ്ടേ? എപ്പോഴാ റോങ് ബ്രദേഴ്സ് എയർക്രാഫ്റ്റ് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചത്? റൈറ്റ് ഒന്നല്ല, റോങ് ബ്രദേഴ്സ്. എപ്പോഴാണ് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചത്? 1903-ലാണ്. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് റോങ് ബ്രദേഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയാൻ കാരണം? അതിനു മുമ്പ് അവര് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച അത് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചതാണ്, പക്ഷെ ആ പിടിക്കുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് വേറൊരിടത്ത് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അവിടെ നിന്നാണ് പിടിച്ചെടുത്തത്. ആ പിടിച്ചെടുത്ത എയർക്രാഫ്റ്റ് ചൗപ്പാത്തി ബീച്ച് ബോംബെയില് 1895 8 വർഷം മുമ്പ് ഒരാൾ പറത്തിയതാണ്. ആ പറത്തി കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ അയാളെയും കാണാനില്ല, എയർക്രാഫ്റ്റിനെയും കാണാനില്ല. അത് ബ്രിട്ടീഷുകാർ കൊണ്ടുപോയി. എന്നിട്ട് അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ അവിടെ കൊണ്ട് പറത്തിയിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു ഞങ്ങൾ വിമാനം കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചു. കുഴപ്പമില്ല, ആര് വേണമെങ്കിലും കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചോട്ടെ, പക്ഷെ അവർ റൈറ്റ് ബ്രദേഴ്സ് എന്ന് വിളിക്കരുത്. അവരെന്ത് ബ്രദേഴ്സ് എന്ന് വിളിക്കണം? റോങ് ബ്രദേഴ്സ് എന്ന് വിളിക്കണം. ഞാൻ പറയാൻ കാരണം ഈ എയർക്രാഫ്റ്റ് ഉള്ള സ്ഥലത്ത് മാത്രമാണ് ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മെഷർ ചെയ്യുക. ഈ ടെമ്പറേച്ചർ മെഷർ ചെയ്ത സമയത്ത് മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് പ്രഡിക്ഷൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ഈ ലോകത്തിൽ എത്ര സ്ഥലത്ത് കരയുണ്ട്? How much of the land area is real land and how much is water? Nearly 30%, right? And how much percentage of area have inhabitants? ആൾക്കാർ താമസിക്കുന്ന സ്ഥലം എത്രയുണ്ട്? In that 2-3% only. Correct, no? In that how much percentage is city area? 1%. Less than that. But the total globe, less than 1% is only where temperature is measured. Can you talk about global warming measuring temperature at 1% of the land area? Is it not fooling people? Is it not? And what mathematics you use? Where without data can you make a graph? And you make a graph and predict. What happens is people are blind. And who is the person who popularized this global warming, you know? There is a movie about global warming and Al Gore is the producer there. Al Gore was the vice president of America. A politician is talking about global warming but not a scientist. So is it not a global politics? And there is another British television produced another movie which is called Global Warming Swindle. Global warming is a big mistake, fooling people. And 38 scientists speaks there saying that global warming is not correct. You are not seeing TV also, right? I gave a nice, wonderful interview on Asianet on global warming. What happens is most of the time we are blind. Never. A youth, a student should learn every side. Ask question whether it is correct or not. Okay? Use your logic. Read as much as you can. If a Copenhagen news vana samayathu every day if you read newspaper you will see at least some places there are some news which talks about global warming is not correct, but you don't read, you read only the main heading, you are not reading the small headings there. If you read it, it makes you to think. The paper reading is a must. Keep your general knowledge well, because if you are a social being you must have general knowledge. You must learn as much as you can. You want your vocabulary to be best, you want your general knowledge to be the highest, keep reading newspaper. No excuse that I have exam so I am not reading. Because half an hour you can always get. You can always take half an hour from your life for reading newspaper. If you are not reading newspaper, you cannot be a good person in this world. Don't read the death column, obituary and all that. കുറേ വയസ്സന്മാരുണ്ട് ഇരുന്ന് വായിക്കും. ഞാൻ ചത്തിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ എന്ന് ഉറപ്പ് വരുത്താൻ വേണ്ടി വന്ന് ചത്ത ഇതിനകത്ത് ഫോട്ടോ വരും. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു കാര്യമില്ല. Okay. Only in Kerala we have got obituary column 3 pages. Nowhere in the world. Not even other states outside Kerala. Only here the death column is there. No other paper. If somebody dies or lives, what is the trouble? Yeah? When living, show that you are living. Have importance in what you do. Your career guidance should come from your own paper reading. When you read paper, you will know what course you have to join. Which course is better. Which job will pay you how much salary. You ask me which job will pay what salary, I will be able to tell you now. Because I keep on reading newspaper every day. If you don't read a newspaper, you cannot get this knowledge. When my young children, when they were 3 years, 4 years old, I used to stand on the bus stop to get the bus, school bus. Generally when the school bus stop, what the parents and the students will tell, oh samayam 7:30 ende bus varatte 7:35 ende bus varatte. Idella sadharana discussion. I never allow my kids to discuss this. You know why? I will ask them to get the paper of their liking. One fellow will take a Deccan Chronicle, another fellow will take Indian Express, some other day he will take a Hindu, some other day he will take a Times of India, some different papers they will select. And then in the bus stop, they will start comparing. What is the main news here in this paper? What is the main news in this paper? So if my paper contains this main news, my paper contains this main news, they start fighting each other. That fighting becomes a learning. That fighting becomes a paper reading. You know what happens? As soon as they get into bus, they start fighting with all the friends and tell them, you know what is the news today? They give lectures to the other students. So their general knowledge becomes much better, right? Even today, they read newspaper and tell me, my son who is in Pune reads newspaper and tell me, Papa, this is the news today. If I don't read my newspaper also, I get news from him. So make a habit of reading newspaper. You get newspaper, but you don't read it, right? You know how much trees are wasted for printing newspapers? Correct, no? And no global warming can be stopped by planting such trees. The Kerala Forest Department, when they conducted a seminar on global warming, they called me. Binoy Vishwan called me specially to talk on global warming. Then I said, these trees cannot save this country. What you should plant is, when you burn, it should never become ashes, it should become carbon. If something while burning becomes carbon, that tree helps to take carbon dioxide and produce oxygen. If something when you burn, if it does not make carbon, it only makes ashes, that means there is no carbon inside the tree. That means carbon holding is not there. The carbon holding of the tree determines whether it will help it to clean the environment or not. Okay? How many trees in this forest department plantations are like that? Bamboo, when you burn, what will happen? Just ashes, no carbon there. Okay, so it tells you what is to be planted. In Bharatiya Shastram, traditionally it says, Vapi kupatadakani devatanayanani cha anna pradhanamudyanam purtam ityavidiyate. You know the way of getting moksha prescribed in our Vedas? Vapi kupatadakani. Either a well or a column like this, or a lake, a river, clean it. If you clean, you get moksha. You know why? Environmental protection is the responsibility of individual. Annapradhanam udyanam. Plant trees which gives flowers. No. Which gives fruits. If there are only trees with flowers, who can enjoy? Only person who fills the stomach can enjoy. Right now? Will there be any flies? Will there be any birds? Will there be any animals here? If you have no plants with fruits around? No. So what you should have? You should have trees with the fruits, right? So this is the prescription given. And what fruits? The fruits which will never be eaten by other birds and flies we can eat. You know the genetically modified food? What is genetically modified food? Where if you have nice tomato, no ants will eat. Protected. Because ants don't want to eat it. And that food we will eat. The ant will understand eating that is useful or not, and we don't understand and we eat. Will it help us? No. So those fruit which has got energy we should eat. Take nice, wonderful food. There are a lot of things to learn. When you read about GM food, you should understand what is it. Any question which you have at any point of time in your life, just think of DrTPS. If I am alive, I will be there to answer. If I don't know, I will be much more glad. Because if I don't know, I have got something more to study. Is it not? So try to keep learning every moment. You can get me at any point without any difficulty. Just go to internet and search my name and type DR for Dr. TPS, temperature, pressure, second. Okay, DrTPS, you just type in and you search me. Or you just by heart my telephone number, go and search me on internet, you will be able to see me. 950, don't write down by heart. 950-20-38875. Very, very sad to say this. Delhi, when I spoke to one of the school, there were nearly 3,000 students, the whole class, the whole school was there. I gave him a telephone number. Evening, by the time the students reached home, it was 2:30 or 3. Between 3 to 5, nearly 67 parents telephoned to me. You know why? The students went and told this, gave him a telephone number, parents called. Recently I came to, I am not naming the school here, in Kannur, I gave him a telephone number like this. There was a missed call, I could not. Now if I just see my both phone, there will be more than 60 calls, which I could not attend. Okay? There are 13 plus 13. There are 2 SIMs, so 26 calls in this. And in this there will be similarly another 32 plus 10. So this many missed calls by now. So I will have to attend all this. Evening every day I go and attend such calls. These are all my students from different part. I called that telephone back and some mother picked up the phone. And she asked me, who is this? I said, I am Dr. Shashikumar. I don't know which place is this call from. Then I asked, where is this? I said, ഞാൻ കണ്ണൂരിന്നാ. ശരി, ഞാൻ ഇന്ന് രാവിലെ ഒരു സ്കൂളിൽ പോയിരുന്നു, അവരുടെ പാരൻസ് ആവും നിങ്ങൾ. ഏത് സ്കൂളിലാണ് സാറ് പോയത്? ഇന്ന് സ്കൂളിലാണ്. ഏത് സ്കൂളിലാണ് സാറ് ഒന്നും വിളിച്ചില്ല. ഏത് സ്കൂളിലാണ് നിങ്ങൾ പോയത് ചോദിച്ചു. ഇന്ന് സ്കൂളിലാണ്. അപ്പം ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, അപ്പം എൻ്റെ മോൻ എന്നോട് ചോദിക്കാണ്ട് എൻ്റെ ഫോൺ എടുത്തു അല്ലേ? ഇതാണ് അവിടെ കുഴപ്പം. എന്താ പറ്റിയത്? മോൻ എന്നോട് ചോദിക്കണം, എന്നാ അവനെ കാണിച്ചു കൊടുക്കാന്ന്. ഫോൺ കട്ട് ചെയ്തു. അന്ന് അവന് നല്ലോണം കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. ഇതാണ് നമ്മുടെ സംസ്കാരവും വിവരവും. ആലോചിച്ച് നോക്കുക, എപ്പോഴാ ഈ ലോകം നന്നാവും? ചാപ്പാട് കഴിക്കാൻ കാശ് ചെലവാക്കും, പക്ഷെ ഒരു വിവരം ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി 5 പൈസയുടെ പുസ്തകം മേടിക്കില്ല. പഠിക്കോ? മാറണം. If you want to improve in your life, you will have to change and decide that you will change. If you don't change, you will have no chance to change in your life. Okay? Try to be good as you can. And I'm sure each one of you are brilliant. Each one of you fought your life, right? How many? Millions of people, and you competed with them and you took the birth. In your whole life, you will not have to compete with that many people. You will not have to compete with that many people, is it not? So are you a winner? Are you a winner?
Yes.
Lift your hands up. Say well done. Did you enjoy?
Yes.
Good. Now, if
I have never attended such a nice program in my life. Thank you, sir.
It's very useful for everyone. I didn't attend such a program.
I never thought about being in such a nice class or something, but it is a lifetime achievement to attend such a nice class. Thank you, sir.
Let me welcome our chief guest, Dr. Shashikumar, and I want to introduce him to you. First of all, he was a space scientist, he is a teacher, he is an educationist, he is a science communicator and mediation master, spiritual director, public speaker, writer, skill trainer and psychotherapist. I don't know, is there anything left apart from the qualification? individual. So it is a blessed opportunity that you got in front of you. Actually, he has been giving such a kind of speeches in almost all the schools, and we also did not want to lose the opportunity that came in front of us. There was only one day where his program was off, that is this Saturday. See, luckily we got that Saturday immediately for our school. What I will request you, because you people, board facing, examination facing students, 10th and 12th, you got the opportunity to listen to this speech. You must have stress, tension, etc. about the examinations. And here there is a therapy that comes in front of you. How to cure your tension and stress on examinations. Make use of the full opportunity that you got in front of us. Give a patient hearing. And now he will be giving you remedies of your problems which can soothe your tension and stress. Teachers also, please make use of the opportunity, and I welcome him once more. On behalf of the management, principal, students, and all who are present here, thank you, sir, and thank you very much for giving us